Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to Main Chat Nerd Night. First one in a while. Sorry about that. I had a, surgery and all that. So, picking up where we left off, we got a bunch of people here from the Main Chat Discord server, and I have a couple, and one of my personal friends from real life is here as well. Just a very, very quick overview, because I want to get into this pretty quickly. The group went to the town, a small little hamlet called Darnek. They were asked to help retrieve some information and some documentation for an elf named Larasa. To do that, they traveled to the capital city of the county they were in, called Fandalo. They acquired some information, acquired some new friends, and picked up a new party member there. Upon their departure from Fandalo, each of these party members is looking for something along the road, just sort of to pass the time. Our wizard, Prudence, sent his familiar out, and she spotted what appeared to be some sort of a goblin camp or settlement or something. When they made their way over to it, it was just off the side of the road, and what they found was an upturned wagon, like a very large cart that had been taken over, and it appears to be used as some sort of a stronghold or a fortress by these goblins. They went in, used a very clever web spell to incapacitate the cart itself so they could not fire arrows out of it. Very quickly dispatched most of the enemies, and then are looking their way into the cart. I believe I have the web spell drawn out here, but I have been told it has been dispelled manually by the wizard, so gone. Spiritual weapon lasts about a minute. I believe you have about 40 seconds left on that one.
Sounds about right.
What would you guys like to do?
Are we still in combat with an order of initiative?
Combat has ended at this point. There are no more enemies. At least no more enemies that you are aware that you can see at this moment. You do know. You can probably gather there were two that were incapacitated that are no longer there, and their bodies aren't there. So you gather that they went into this hole that you saw in the back.
I remember that.
All right, so I'm gonna go into the cart and just look around the edge of the hole.
Okay.
I'm gonna collect my arrows.
Okie doke. Yeah.
I haven't been keeping track of my arrows anymore, but
Yeah,
still don't collect them.
We will discuss off table. For now, I'll say you can recover about 3/4 of your arrows because you were aiming pretty carefully. Yeah. So you go to the edge of the hole.
I got my 20 arrows.
What exactly?
Immediate danger.
Make an investigation check.
Okay, give me a sec.
Okay, Prudence, make an investigation check as well. And I'm sorry, was that Rurik?
That was Shigun.
Shigun?
I'm gonna check the hole. Wow.
You're gonna check the hole as well? It's in the hole.
And speaking
It's a hole.
of investigation checks, I'm gonna see if there's anyone traveling on the road.
Okay, that would be.
If there's anyone about to show up or that's leaving.
So that will be a perception check.
It is a
Shigun.
hole.
So Shigun, you got a 9. It looks safe enough. I mean, the edges are kind of crumbly. It looks like it's been there for a while. That was a 19, you said, Hoyd?
Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, looking at the surrounding area, the dirt's been pretty packed down. It looks like I said, this has been here for quite some time. You touch the ladder. The ladder looks pretty sturdy. You don't see anything in the way of a trap on it. And it looks like, the goblins that went in here wanted to make a very speedy escape. Didn't want to worry about traps. So it looks safe to go down. Shigun.
Okay. Yes.
You were no, sorry, it was Prudence. You were looking around for stuff. Go ahead and make an investigation check, unless I already missed it. I don't think I did, but let's see. Oh, I did miss it. It's further up. 14. Okay. Yeah, on the goblin bodies and the goblin boss, you find roughly. It takes you about, I'd say, 5 minutes or so to go through these. There's just not particularly rich goblins. You find about 65 gold pieces in various denominations or so. Each of the goblins, I believe there were 4, has a scimitar. And you go around and you look at the top of the wagon, and there is a heavy crossbow that has been mounted to the top of the wagon. It does not appear to have been used at all. Otherwise, on these on the persons, let me double check. I believe there were, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 scimitars. And you find a pile of possibly serviceable, possibly not. You'd have to have somebody with a little bit more martial expertise look at them. Spears, wooden spears, just behind. I say behind, away from the road, piled up in the back here.
Hey, Prudence, you still owe me 3. Do I
Is
see
anybody
anything on the road?
actually hurt?
Sorry, say again?
Do I see anything on the road?
You rolled a 19.
My notes say you owe me 3.
Okay. So the boss himself had 30 of that gold on it, and he had 10 heavy crossbow bolts on his person. The road, you keep an eye out. There's you see one person or like a cart or something very, very far off in the distance. Otherwise, there haven't been people actively passing by.
Is it approaching or leaving?
At the with a 19, it appears to be approaching. You would estimate probably about 10 or so minutes before it gets to you. It's very, very, very far off.
Okay.
Did anybody actually get hurt from that?
Oh yeah, guys, I haven't been
I'm a bit scratched, but I'm fine.
I haven't been tracking your temp hit points, so.
So I'm pulling up my temp hit point, see what I've...
Okay.
Okay,
so
I'm going to...
I will say, Zook, you just did have to wander a little closer to the road to get a peek. Rurik, at this point, your spiritual weapon has faded.
Okay.
Okay, I will go to the cart. I want to go to look at the hole. Drop one of my ball bearings down and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. So you go in there as well. As you're doing this, Prudence sort of catches you, gives you 13 gold. There's 13 gold that goes to everybody. And he piles some of these he piles the scimitars, just right here, tucked away behind the rock. Visible to you, but not visible to them. The heavy crossbow and bolts are there as well.
I will take that as covering the debt.
Okay, so roll investigation, Zook. You were looking. Oh, so you're looking at the hole. Roll investigation just to see what you see on the surface. You drop the ball bearing down. You hear it hit dirt.
Okay, how far down did it sound like?
Maybe 10 feet at the most. You let it go, and then just a couple seconds later.
If we want to get a source of light down there, I can cast light and drop a stone or something down there.
You do see very, very faint flickering light. It's not incredibly bright, and the one human in your party that doesn't have dark vision may have a little bit of difficulty, but those of you with dark vision will have no issue down here. So a 19. So Zook, same as before. Looks sturdy enough. The ball bearing, you look down and you can actually see the ball bearing where it lay in the dirt. So if you want to retrieve that on the way down, without getting closer, you do see the footprints and you see where the goblins had jumped down into the hole, and you see that they had sort of scattered in this direction towards what would have been the opening to the cart. But beyond that, you're too high up to really see anything else.
Well, then that leaves the question, are we going to jump in?
I think that's a good idea.
Is there like a ladder or anything that we could get back out of if we did?
Yes, there's
There's
a
a ladder
ladder. Yes, there's a ladder in the hole.
Okay.
It's not easily visible, but there's a little ladder there.
Okay.
In what condition
As long
is
as we
the
can
ladder?
secure a way back out, I'm all for it.
We can also try smoking them out.
So, those of you who
We don't know
rolled-
that there's not an exit somewhere else.
So
There
those
could
of
also
you,
be something valuable in there.
That's true too.
So just to answer the question of the status of the ladder, those of you who investigated the hole, all of you were able to see that the ladder itself looks fairly sturdy, at least for the top 5 feet. You can't really tell further down; you're just too far away to actually see. But it appears to be in relatively good condition and very well used.
Okay,
So-
in the case that the ladder is of poor condition lower down into the hole, how well is the ladder affixed to the top of the hole?
It's just resting. It's basically sitting on the floor of that lower level and then resting at the top. Like you know, just a standard ladder you put up when you're painting your house. Same deal.
I see. So it's not like a sewer drain or something. Alright.
Yeah, it's not like
Prudence and Zook, do either of you have a way of communicating with us magically?
Hmm.
I have message.
I think that'll do. I have an idea.
As a cantrip. I will...
Can you
What-
scout out,
Pull
Zook?
up
Can
5
you
d12
scout out
to-
underneath for us?
headset keeps cutting
You
out.
want me
so-
to scout?
Guys, give me like 10 seconds. My headset keeps cutting out. I have no idea why. I just need to get an external battery.
Sure.
I'm curious to hear your idea.
I'll wait for Ember to get back, because I think he's curious too.
Okay, so I heard basically none of the last 45 seconds or so.
We pretty much waited for you.
A
I heard
question. Can I extrapolate from the description of the message cantrip to assume that it would take 10 feet of dirt to block message?
Let's see what message says. I'm not incredibly familiar.
It's blocked
was it?
by 1 foot of stone or 3 feet of wood.
In that case, solid objects, magic silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. Make an Arcana check.
Sounds like a reasonable response. Where's my Arcana? Where is it?
Okay, you haven't tried it through dirt specifically. I would say, given you have an intelligence of 17, you can reasonably guess that it would do that, but you don't know that for sure.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will, have
So-
my bow. I will
Zook, I
climb
figure
down
you're
the ladder into
small
the
enough.
hole, ready
Well,
my bow, and look
well-
around in that order.
Well, we should probably hear Hoyd's idea.
Okay, wait. No, I'll wait.
Okay. So I figure you're small enough, you're sneaky enough. If you go down there, maybe with a little bit of magical assistance, you could scout around and let us know what's down there.
My understanding was that that was the idea.
Okay,
Okay.
And that's a good idea too.
so you'll duck down there. Go ahead and make a stealth check. And Prudence holds out, just like uncoils a bit of the rope that's on his pack. We can throw some rope down to make sure you don't get entirely stranded. 24. Okay. So,
I'm good at this.
Excellent suggestion,
Uh,
Prudence.
give me 1 quick second as I change the map. All of you
Map
disappear.
change.
Poof, gone. Poof, gone.
Oh, well, that's it. We beat the game.
It's now loading.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
beat,
Now loading.
you've beat D&D. Congratulations.
All of Greyhawk is on a now loading screen.
There you go.
It's like you were prepared for this or something.
Yeah.
What
Alrighty.
preparedness? Nah.
Zook, you very, very carefully make your way down to the... See, there's a ladder. Make your way down to the bottom of the ladder. As you get to the foot of the ladder, I have to make a couple of checks, so give me one quick second.
Uh-oh.
I also don't remember which thing is where, because I didn't... there's there. Okay. That is going to be... Oh my god, why did I close that? No, god no. And a natural 1. And no. Okay. You see...
Low res.
You see a goblin here with a what appears to be a spear or a javelin, sort of primed, looking at the entryway. You do manage, as like you time it, and he looks away for a moment, and you scuttle to the bottom of the ladder, and he doesn't see you make it down there. He rolled a natural 1. Otherwise, make a perception check, please.
Okay. You see that, like, spot just to the north where there's a wall? I think I want to move there.
Right here?
I will make my perception.
Okay. You back up 1, make your perception check. Alrighty. So you can see down.
It's dark.
Yeah, you
It
can
is dark.
see down the rest of this hallway to right there. That's about what you see.
Okay, I will message back to the group that there's a room and some hallways, and there's a guy with a spear watching the ladder entrance, but he didn't spot me.
Okay. Yeah, to do this, you kind of lean a little bit into the ladder just to get your magic
I can
up
direct
there.
it around corners.
Who... Yeah, you... I'm just doing this for flavor. It's not going to affect how things play out.
Okay.
Who are you messaging?
Well,
I believe because it's one target.
It is.
that it is. Who... Well, considering that it was Hoyd's plan, I'm gonna message Hoyd.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, you... So, Hoyd, you hear the message coming through your mind.
So our intrepid friend says there is danger. Who wants to go first?
Not you, I take it?
That is not what I said.
What are we looking at down there?
Uh,
Is it more goblins or?
what level of danger?
Oh, just minor. But adventure to be sure.
My concern is, if we all start heading down there, they might raise the alarm and we might have more to deal with.
Depending on how bright light can be, I could potentially flash them with something and blind them.
Like, literally drop a flashbang into the hole.
Yes. But I don't know how powerful that spell is.
Make an intelligence check.
Let's see.
That's true, Prudence.
That's a very good point.
Actually, wait a minute. I have an
We
invisible
don't
mage
know
hand.
that's there. Intelligence, where is that at? Oh, it's just a flat intelligence.
Yep. So that for you should be a +1, I believe.
Yeah.
I have telekinesis. I will think about this.
So, Prudence leans over to Shigun and says, you have a sword. You stand a good chance of stopping the sentry before they can retaliate. With a 19, you do know goblins, while they don't necessarily prefer the light, are not light sensitive.
So I doubt the meager light cast by just a simple light spell would be enough to produce any desirable effect.
Not the cantrip light, no.
No, that's the only thing I have access to at the moment. Well, Prudence does make a good point. You have a sword, and the element of surprise.
True. I could hop down there and catch them unawares, but if
No one's taken me up on the offer?
How much of this discussion do I hear?
You hear none of it. You're too far away.
And sadly, message doesn't work two ways, does it?
It does not.
Does.
It's so you can send a quick message back, but it's like a one sentence. Let me look at the specific limitations. You can
would Hoyd be able to use that
no.
same?
Yeah, you point your
okay.
finger toward a creature within range, whisper a message. The target and only target hears the message and can reply any whisper that only you can hear. I will say, because it's a one action spell, you can, if you can do 5 words or less, you can send a response, but otherwise.
Thank you, stay put.
Well,
Understood.
you are martially proficient, and I do think you would stand the most chance of weathering any onslaught that may come from you hopping down there.
That's what I intend to do. I think I'm going to have my weapon ready. I'm going to hop down there and hopefully, before they can react, catch them off guard.
How loud are you going to be, though?
Well,
That's a good question.
the problem is if I jump down there, my armor will probably be quite loud.
You know what? I think I'm going to try this one. If you hear things go poorly, jump down, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
Give a signal if you need me to hop down there, and I'll be right after you.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hear it.
That's fair too.
Okay.
What do you plan to do then?
I'm going to try to stealth down the ladder.
Fair enough. I don't really have anything useful for this particular situation, so I'll just stay ready.
Stealth is probably the best option since we don't know how many are down there.
That is fair. I
Okay.
am not stealthy.
Yeah, Hoyd, go ahead and make a stealth check. And if I recall, you're not wearing anything special that would.
Prudence is typing, by the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot to have that up. I usually have the window up in the background just so I can see when he's
I'm going to see what
typing.
he's got first.
Prudence says, if things go well, I recommend a quick rest. My spell repertoire stands to benefit if that happens. So.
Alright, so it's a 16 plus 4.
I mean, I'm wearing anything special, but you can't see color in the dark.
No, you can't. Although, well, from where you are, you don't see any torches in the immediate area. But where you closer, you see a source of light coming from about here. Actually, you can probably see right about to there. But no further. Actually,
In that case,
what am I saying? Dark
then
vision.
I will.
You can see all the way out to there.
Okay.
In which
All
case,
right, you do have dark vision.
I will message.
Give me one quick second just to set everything up and make sure that I got everything right. No, you're good. That's all set.
I wish to send Hoyd another message that there is an adjacent room that is lit. And of no further
Yeah,
information.
you see it. It's
I
roughly
think
that
I'm
area.
down there.
Okay, so yes, Hoyd, so Hoyd is down there. He also has dark vision.
Okay.
Hoyd,
Never mind.
if you could make a perception check for me. As my friend
Sure.
rolls a natural 1 on his perception check. Good lord.
Oof.
Success.
So to answer Prudence's question, those of you who are down here do recognize it as some sort of candlelight. It's either a torchlight or like a small fire or something, but it is fire. So, Hoyd, what was the perception?
8.
8. Yep, you see all the same things.
Okay.
It's definitely better than my 2.
It's quite lovely down here.
The only no, that's about all you'd see from that particular position.
Zook
Okay.
can't see, but also can't be seen.
What would you like to do?
To Zook quietly. Care to back me up on this?
On what?
I'm going to creep toward the goblin.
Creep toward him. Okay.
Yes.
Make another stealth check. Be aware he is looking in your direction. You happen to slip down unnoticed.
I'm
That's a 14.
confused as to why we would do this. If we want to kill the goblin, I can just fire a shot and get it done.
That is a 14. Yeah, he doesn't see you. He rolled a 14, but they have a -1. So you creep
Excellent.
right up to him.
I do, and I unsheath my rapier.
Okay, so being as careful as you can, I would like you, just for the sake of it, make one more stealth check, because you're getting almost right on top of him, and he can see just as well as you can at this point. Because you have nothing to hide
It's a
behind
9.
now. That's a 9. Yeah, unfortunately, you have nothing to hide behind. So as you draw your rapier, his eye, you see the goblin's eyes focus on you, and he turns to this direction and starts to shout. I would like you to roll initiative, please.
Uh-oh.
Everyone who is currently in combat, actually everyone roll initiative just for the sake of it, just so I know where you guys are, how you're all doing.
I'm intending to descend the ladder as soon as I hear shouting.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and roll my initiative in a second.
Alright, so Zook, that is a 13.
Oh.
Let's see, Prudence
have a
is a
15.
5. Hoyt is a 15. Hoyt has a 15. Who else? Who else am I missing?
Rurik rolled a 4.
Rurik rolled a 4.
I advised against this course of action.
I saw a 22. Whose is that? It's up off the top of this screen.
That's Shigun's.
So
That's
Shigun,
mine.
you rolled 22. Not bad.
Shigun was fucking ready.
I'm ready to go. I'm going down that ladder.
I have one more. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. So, coming up first on the initiative order is Shigun. You definitely hear the goblin shouting. You don't know what he's saying, but you hear it.
Yeah. When I hear the shouting, I'm going to descend down the ladder.
Okay. So you slide down to the bottom of the ladder. Without dark vision, you can vaguely see, but everything in this area does have partial cover because it's very dim light.
Okay. Will I be able to actually make it to the goblin and strike him? Like, I don't know how much movement I'm expending to do all this.
To make that movement, you expended 10 feet. So you can go 5, 10, 15, or 5, 10, and you're within melee range of him. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to move over to the side one more. So that way it's kind of boxed in.
Just into the corner here?
Yeah, so that way the goblin is boxed in.
Does that count as flanking if they're against a wall like that?
It does not. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Just checking.
It should count for his sneak attack, though.
It does. For Zook's sneak attack, it does.
I'm going to make a strike against the goblin. Do I have any penalties because of the low light?
You don't have any penalties. It gets a bonus to the AC.
Okay. I will make my attack roll then.
Okay. Okay, that is a 16.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you bring the sword down, and as it's pointing in the direction where you're currently standing, it brings a... I want to make sure I have the correct armor here, because I had the wrong one. It brings like a small wooden, like a round wooden shield, and it just catches the blade on the shield. It looks like it hurt its arm a little bit, but it didn't actually deal damage.
Okay.
You do still have 5 more feet of movement if you want to move anywhere.
I think I will hold my position there.
Feel free to,
Okay.
okay.
Next up, we have those guys. I just have to double check how far they can go. Okay. And there's one here. There's one there. Okay. Next up, we have Hoyd.
I'm gonna finally make my strike against them.
Okay, go ahead and take your swing.
It's a 17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 7.
A 7. So you, in one swift motion, you unsheath your rapier and slash across, and it collapses against the wall. The scream cuts short. Now,
too late.
let's see. We see. Okay. You see a goblin duck around the corner here, and another goblin duck around the corner here. Both getting partial cover from that, and they will. This one will strike at Shigun with his scimitar.
Okay.
That's a natural 1, so that doesn't hit. And the other one will fire its bow at Shigun because that's what he can see with his short bow. That's a 7, which does not hit. The arrow just embeds itself into the wall. And they both, you see this one move out of sight, and this one takes a few steps back down into the hallway. Just because the wall is there, unfortunately, you wouldn't get an attack of opportunity through that wall.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And then we got that one's staying there. Cool. Next up, we have Zook.
Okay, now that hallway that I'm in, I'm gonna take like a step to the left and look down the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, here you see a little further down. You can see what looks like some sort of a must or a mold of some kind lining around the hallway here. You're not quite sure what it is, but it's covering that space. Like you can see the spores sort of floating in the space there.
That is some kind of trap. I will then move to the main room.
Okay.
Like turn around, go back to the main room.
5, 10. Yep. And then 15 puts you under the ladder.
You know, I'm gonna stay where I was.
Stay right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to hold an action?
I want to ready my bow just in case I see an enemy.
Okay, so you're
That's
gonna ready.
the thing I can do.
You're gonna ready an attack until you can see an enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Next up, we have Prudence. Okay. Prudence calls down. You need any help? and for the purposes of this, I will allow Zook is probably closest. I will allow Zook to call back.
It's clear. First room's clear. I'll shout something to the effect that the first room is clear of enemies.
Okay, yeah.
And so it is safe to come down.
You do have a very limited amount of time when it's not your turn, but sure. Okay, yeah,
Room's
so
clear.
Prudence nods and then continues shoving the heavy crossbow that you guys found into his pack.
Okay.
Will you ready an action, or are you just going to stay out there until you think you're needed? Okay, moving on. We have Rurik.
All right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I had Shield of Faith cast on Zook during prior combat.
Correct.
Would that still be in effect? Because that lasts for 10 minutes, and I'm not sure how much time it has passed.
We spent about 5 minutes going
You know
off
what?
going
Yeah,
through
I'll say it's still in effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
There you
you
go.
have about 5. Yeah, I'd say you have about 5 more minutes or so.
Okay,
That's
so
what I
what
was
does that
expecting.
mean?
I just wanted to clarify and make sure.
So yeah, Zook, you have another 50 rounds of Shield of Faith on you. So that's +2 to your AC.
Okay, so my AC is 17 at least for the moment.
For the moment,
Yes.
yes. So, Rurik, what would you like to do?
All right. Can you make the video bigger?
Yeah.
Because... Thank you.
The ladder's right there.
The ladder is
Okay.
here.
Right.
Yep.
For the purposes, you're all clustered at the ladder, so it takes no movement to get to the ladder. Descending the ladder takes movement. Or you can jump.
I have no desire to jump. I am wearing heavy stuff. So I will descend the ladder.
Okay. Yep, you use 10 feet of your movement descending the ladder.
Were there any enemies nearby, or were they cleared out? They were cleared, right?
Make a perception check as you reach the bottom of the ladder.
Certainly.
From what you know, you don't see any enemies in your immediate line of sight.
I am in the wrong thing. You said perception?
Correct.
Let's go back up here and make sure that I've got the right number. Trying to have all this stuff on one screen is a pain.
This is why I go with paper, man. 7. Okay.
Man,
Refresh cache
Our
page.
this is year 2020 is not the year of vision.
Guess not. All right. So you have about 15 feet more movement if you'd like to move. Actually, you probably see down to.
I'll step forward just a little bit to clear the ladder, but
Okay.
I'll
take one
move
step
towards
forward.
something like that. That'll work.
Will you?
Did-
Sorry. Go ahead.
Did the goblin do any attacks or anything, or was he dispatched?
That goblin's
quickly?
dead. He's gone.
Yeah, that's
You
what
see
I
the
thought.
corpse. You see the goblin's corpse in the corner.
I don't really think I have anything useful I can do at the moment. Can you ready a spell as an action?
You can. What spell? As long as it
Oh.
has a casting time of 1 action or less. Well-
Gotcha.
What would you like to ready?
I will announce to the room that this hallway that I'm standing at the entrance of is trapped.
Okay, you can do that at the start of your next turn.
Okay, well, I will do that at that time.
You can ready cantrips as well. It doesn't have to be a leveled spell.
Okay, that's useful. I would like to ready the spell Guiding Bolt under the condition that if any enemies were to approach line of sight, I would target them with it.
Okay, so the next time you see an enemy, you'll have Guiding Bolt. Alright, so you clutch your holy symbol of Palor and mutter a short prayer, and a small, dim glow emanates from your hand. The spell is ready for use, and it will be called forth at the next available opportunity. Okay.
Quick mechanic question. Does this
Yes.
expend the spell slot now or at casting?
It expends the spell slot now.
Gotcha.
Because the spell is technically cast, you're just holding it back to release until the trigger event happens.
I'm already readying a shot.
And Zook is also readying a bow shot as well. Shigun, you're up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take a step forward and see if I can peer down that hallway at all.
Provoke an enemy. Get them over here. It'll
Alrighty.
get shot at.
You walk up here.
They'll arrive in due time.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Yes. 16. Okay. It's a little difficult for you as a human, but you are able to see all the way down to the end of this hallway, where you spot the goblin who had swung at you and missed. And it is dim. It is very hard for you to see, but you do see that. Let's see. In the darkness. Yeah, okay.
Debating on if I want to go down there. I'm a little suspicious. Can I roll another perception check to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, or is it too dark?
It's too dark for you, unfortunately. Because of the darkness, the difficulty goes up a little bit for you, unfortunately, because you can't really see.
Would he be in my line of sight to trigger my usage of guiding bolt here? Because I do have dark vision.
At that range, I would say, because this is a full 5-foot square, not quite. You'd be clipping this corner.
Okay.
Your sight line more or less goes right there, and you can see to the wall, but you can't see down all the way down the hallway, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm going to
Positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have stepped forward more.
I'm going to take another step forward and see if I can see more into the room off to the
This
side.
way?
This way? Yes.
Okay. Yep, you take another step forward. You see there is light coming from this area, so you are able to see all the way down to the end of that hallway. You do also see one goblin tucked around the corner here.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Okay. I'm going to head towards that red goblin then and make an attack.
Okay, yeah, so you double check something here. Okay, so you do move here or here? So you move toward level with him or around the corner? Around the corner he will have partial cover.
I will step in front of him so that way he does not have the cover.
Right here?
there.
Okay. As you come around the corner, you also see a second goblin standing right behind him. And you can see a little bit further down.
Before I make
right
the
about
attack,
there.
Before I make my attack, I'm gonna shout, "There's one in the hallway, 2 down this way."
Okay.
Now I'm gonna strike the red goblin in front of me.
Alrighty. For your reference, typically breaking up your movement like that generally doesn't happen just because it would take more time, but it's fine for this time. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'll try to keep that in mind then.
You can break up movement between actions, but breaking up movement just to peer down the hallway, that's technically an action, but I'll let it go for now.
Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind.
Okay, so you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
Whoops. Refresh the window here because it's not showing up. Okay, yeah, you go ahead and take a swing with your sword, and same as before, actually, it reaches out and it catches on this wooden round shield that they have on their sides, and your sword kind of goes into the wall and you withdraw it.
Okay. I will go ahead and hold my position there then.
Okay, you stay there.
Yes.
Okay, in that case, gotta think about where these things are. Okay. I would like, just for the purposes of this, Rurik, Zook, and Hoy to make a perception check for me. Because this is something that you're going to hear but not see. Shigun, you will see in a moment.
It's 11.
Oh, fantastic.
11, 7, and 17. Okay. Hoyd and Zook, you hear a low... Let me get to the thing. You hear a low growl, almost almost feral in nature, as a Let me get the description because I want to say it right. A significantly taller figure, a very broad-shouldered, masculine, with covered in fur along its entire body, large fangs coming out of its mouth, like almost like a bear. Large pointed ears. You hear this growl from over here as it charges through 5, 10, 20, 25 to get into melee range with you, and is going to swing at you with its mace.
Okay.
This creature. If I can get back to the frickin' stat block. There we go.
I was expecting there would be one, but I wasn't going to say anything.
That is a natural one. Hooray! So he goes to swing at you with his. It looks like a spiked mace almost, and not only does it go wide, it actually catches this goblin here and stuns him for a moment. You don't see it deal any damage, but you also see that he doesn't really care.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
I know I did a lot of weird movement last turn, but do I still have my reaction that I can use?
So your reaction? Yes, yeah. You still
Okay.
you get a reaction every turn.
Okay. Since he missed me, I can use riposte, and that will let me use my reaction and one superiority die to make a melee attack against them.
Okay, go ahead and make your
That's
roll.
really good use.
And then you add the superiority die to the damage.
Yeah. Second here. I'm just skimming it real quick, make sure I do it right. So it will be my longsword attack.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, that hits.
what?
Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, so
I don't even
Since
need
I-
to check.
since I hit, I will add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. So I will roll the base damage first.
Okay. Well, you can roll the base damage and then add the superiority die. You can do multiple dice in one query.
I'm not sure how to stack them like that, so I'm just going to do it separate.
Okay.
That's the longsword.
Okay. So 7 damage
the-
plus.
It is 1d8.
So in this case, it would be question mark. Well, for you, 2d8 plus whatever. So that's 14 damage. Woof. Nice.
Nice.
I gotta do math
That's from
now.
a counter attack.
Damn it, you guys! I gotta do math. All right. So
Riposte.
as the mace comes back around, he prepares for another attack. You just easily slip your longsword right through, just digging straight into its chest, and it growls and almost roars at you. Now at this point, everyone can hear this. They can't see it, but they can hear it for sure. He's not trying. Okay. And I just have to check something. I have to make a quick roll for this guy because he's stupid. Yeah, he's fine. Okay. Zook, he can't quite make it to you, but you turn to your right, hearing another low growl, and you see another one of those individuals that I described earlier. Very tall, broad-shouldered, very heavily muscled, covered in fur. He kind
I
of
have readied an attack.
You have. Go ahead and make your attack.
Things are
Okay.
from a
Now
question.
I think it's roll to hit.
This is just a normal attack for you. Because
so roll to hit, and I've rolled to hit.
Okay. Yeah, 18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. I assume this does not count as a sneak attack.
It does not.
Okay.
There's
so
no
I'm
conditions
just gonna-
here that would make it a sneak attack.
So
That seems
just a 1d6. Do I have any modifiers?
interesting.
Plus your dex.
Oh, plus dex. Okay,
Yep.
so
Ranged attacks get dex added onto them. 5. Okay. So you to that one. All right. So you quickly snap off a shot, and you see it digs itself into its shoulder. It kind of looks at the arrow, turns to you and grins and growls. Okay. That's going to be the end of their turn. We have Hoyd.
I have 30 feet of movement. Can I get to that green goblin?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, absolutely. As you're coming up to here, you step across right there. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Aha! I knew it!
Oh, do what?
20.
Oh yeah. So you feel the ground shift under you, and before anything happens, you quickly step back. Chunk! A bear trap closes in front of you. But
excellent.
you very easily duck out of the way. And you continue on, and you are now within melee range of that goblin.
Okay. Slight retcon, because I forgot to do it before I moved. Just something verbal. Can I yell up the ladder?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Coming in, the water's fine.
Okay. And then you move. And, alright.
I'm going to make a strike against this goblin.
Okay.
And that's a 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that doesn't hit, probably.
Yep. No, it's
It's a in combat.
I-
Ones are ones.
I mean, it's a 6.
Well, it's
But
if it's
a
a
one.
1 in combat, it's just automatically fail no matter what. You don't add anything to it. So yeah, you go slightly shaken from the bear trap. You go to strike, but the goblin was prepared because it heard you coming in and just very easily ducks under the swing. Okay,
This is
that-
fine.
is that gonna be your turn?
That's all I can do right now, yes.
Alrighty. Now it's the goblin who's in front of you, and what he is going to do is if I should just pop that out. There we go. He is.
If
going
someone's
to
talking, they're very quiet.
It was people in the background. He is going to he's going to attempt to grapple you. So go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
He's grappling me. Okay. I'm gonna go acrobatics.
Okay.
21.
Okay. Yeah. So he reaches up and clutches your shoulders, and you very easily shrug them off and duck out of the way very quickly. So the grapple
Slap him
fails.
lightly.
Yeah. A little slap across the cheek. Yeah, that's gonna be his move. He's kind of fucked now. He was really depending on that bear trap. All right. And now this goblin here is going to disengage as a bonus action and step back here. And you see him draw and knock an arrow, but he does not fire at you. The blue one is going to draw and take a shot at Shigun.
Okay.
You know what? Change my mind. He's going to move here. Doesn't affect anything right now, but he's going to stay there. So he's going to draw and take a shot with his short bow. That is a 19.
I
Which-
think that hits me.
Is your armor class, so that does hit.
Yeah. Do I still have the 3 temp HP from the last session, or did that all wear off?
I believe.
Temporary doesn't expire until it's gone.
Yeah, so that's still there. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the? It was
But yours will refill.
It does not
Like-
because Hoyd's concentration was broken.
Yeah, it expired.
He cast
Oh,
suggestion,
okay, but he still
which
has the
removed
10
the
hit points
concentration.
then.
The 3, but yes.
Cool.
So you do still
Actually,
have that 3.
clarification.
Yep.
He does
Okay.
not. When heroism expires, he loses any remaining hit points from the
There
spell.
you go. So you do not have that temporary hit point. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
That is going to be a d6. So you take 5 damage as an arrow chunk, lodges itself right into your side.
All right. since I have heavy armor master, that will reduce it by 3.
Very good. Sounds good to me.
So I take 2.
Let's see, who else is here? You... Nope, that's going to be the end of their turn. They're going to stay where they are. Moving down to the next in the list, we have Zook.
Okay, if I go to the square with the ladder on it and then hide behind that wall, like hide as a bonus action against that wall, would it then be plausible that I could, like, get a sneak attack shot off against the bugbear that is currently chasing me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yes. You duck
Okay,
around
then
the
I'm doing
corner.
that.
Go ahead and make a stealth check. What is that?
What is that?
Okay. Yeah, so you duck
Really?
around. That's just good to know. So you duck around the corner, and then you're going to quickly take a step out and take the shot.
Yeah, so...
Okay. So
Is
you
this
don't-
at advantage? I don't think this is at advantage.
It is not an advantage, but go ahead and roll your attack anyway. Yeah, that hits. That is a natural 20. So it is a critical. And yes,
Nice.
and yes, you do get sneak attack damage because he failed his perception check.
So does that mean I double all my dice?
All of the dice, yes. Including sneak attack dice.
Is that how we're playing it?
Yes. If there's dice rolled, yes. Modifiers do not get. So that's a 33. So you quickly duck around the corner, take a breath, spin around and snap a shot, and it's almost like you didn't even really aim. You just knew where to fire, and the arrow flies chunk straight into the bugbear's eye, and you see the smile drop from its face, and he just collapses onto the ground on his front.
One and done.
Well, 2. but
That's
yeah.
how I roll.
That's how I
Um,
roll.
Literally.
All right. So you've expended 10 feet of your movement. Is that going to be your turn?
Well, I might as well stay posted here.
Okay. So you'll stay where you are. Sounds good.
Actually, no. Can I move down to the southern wall of this room?
Down this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just straight forward.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like move to the corner then.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. Yep. You can get into that corner there. And that's about as far as you can move. So.
All right.
Um,
I'll sit tight there.
Okay. Let me flip to a certain page. Where is it? Where are they? Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Okay. Next up, we have Prudence. If you jump, you'd have to succeed on an athletics check or acrobatics check. Sorry. But it would only take 5 feet of movement if you jump versus 10 if you slide. Okay. So you go ahead and slide down the ladder. Make a perception check for me, please.
Does deer exist at the moment?
She does not.
Okay.
I think she got defeated the last combat.
I just like the way you worded that.
Does deer exist?
Okay.
That's how
How
familiars
rude.
work, is it not?
16. You do see right here, there looks to be like some kind of a rag or a cloth. And as you look closely, you see the center of that cloth sag slightly. So there is something under that cloth there. Or perhaps nothing. I mean, the whole area is pretty much covered in refuse, so... Okay, so using your remaining 20 feet, you go 5, 10, 20. That's about as far as you can get there with your 20 feet of movement. And as you walk past it, you point down towards the cloth that you skirt. Might want to watch out for this space right here. Looks a little suspect. Okay. And everyone's within eyeshot of you, so everyone hears that. Earshot, rather. Alright, next up we have Rurik. Is that going to be your turn? You have other things you can do. Sorry. Okay. So you go ahead and prepare Tasha's Hideous Laughter. What is the trigger? You can see past Shigun. You can see the bugbear. Alrighty. Remind me, it is a wisdom saving throw? Wisdom saving throw. Alright, what is your spell DC? $13. Okay. Wisdom. Oh boy. So you point out and you shout out this incantation, and Shigun, you see he starts to swing his just ready up his maul like he's getting ready to hit you. And he just starts laughing hysterically, and he falls prone. Just in this fit of hideous laughter. Almost like there's a spell named after it. Okay.
That's wonderful.
So that's your turn. Coming back around to the top of the initiative order. Shigun, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh, did you skip Rurik?
Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Rurik, you're up. It's because I
okay.
because I said Rurik and then we came back to him. Sorry, Rurik, go ahead. It's your go.
Quick mechanics question. Since I readied a spell last turn and it didn't get used, does it like stay in limbo until I do something else, or how does that work?
What you can do is you can roll a concentration check, and if you succeed on it, then you maintain the spell and you can move, and then utilize the spell at a later time, or you can let the spell go, but the spell slot is expended.
Okay, second question then. Does readying a spell like this require concentration?
So when you ready a spell, yes, it does. Any spell, when you ready it, it requires concentration when it comes to the top of your next turn. If you want to maintain that readiness, or if you get hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
on that note, Shield of Faith on Zook will then have expired.
Okay.
Because I believe that's a concentration.
Because that takes your concentration away. Yep. So Shield of Faith has
Cool.
expired.
I wasn't using it.
I just wanted to make sure that was noted.
Yes. Good question. Completely forgot about that. So
right.
this turn, if you would like to continue to hold it, go ahead. It's going to be at the end of your turn. Make a concentration check, but you can do everything else up to that point.
Would it retain the same trigger?
Well, so since it's your turn, you can choose a different trigger, but more or less, I would assume Guiding Bolt has the same trigger no matter what.
Right. I was just wondering if I were to move in, or can you use a reaction on your turn?
Yeah.
I was wondering if I were to move in line of sight of something, that would consume my reaction for the round to use Guiding Bolt, and then I'd still be free to use a regular action and or a bonus action.
I would say that is actually a good question. I never thought of that. Give me one quick second. I want to double check the rules on that, because I believe when it rolls over to your turn, if you actively make the thing happen, you can't take a reaction. If something else happens, you can take the reaction. But let me double check that. Holding.
I wasn't paying attention because I was thinking about, like, what if you made a level 15 gnome artificer and somehow managed to turn that into Iron Man?
Da-da-da-da-da. It's been a long time since I've had to look at this chapter.
I'm sorry.
Nope, it's fine. Let's see. Attack rolls, disengage, cast a spell. Ready. When you're ready, spell, it casts as normal. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It does not explicitly specify, however, just the way the mechanics of a reaction are. If your reaction to something is something comes into line of sight on your turn and you're actively making that happen, you wouldn't be reacting to it, you would just be doing the thing.
Okay.
So
I'll move forward under the assumption that I will be ending my turn with this spell readied for the something that, or if I guess I could change the.
You can change the trigger if you'd like, but I don't know what other trigger you would use. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll just leave that trigger as the same, and the concentration check happens at the beginning or the end of the turn.
It happens at the end. Are you gonna move? Is my question.
As I need the video. Yes, I am.
I took Shigun out of the way. He's standing right there, but I took him out of the way so you could see.
Okay. Yes, I believe I shall move.
Okay. Where would you like to move to?
Do I still have my full movement, or does concentration and...
Nope, you have your full movement.
Okay.
Running the concentration check is unrelated.
I would like to move to a little bit in front of Prudence, near the corner of that wall right in front of them. Like right over there, yeah.
You can get to here.
Okay, yeah, that would...
And I will say, as you pass through here, you wouldn't be able to stop on this space, but you do see down the hallway, and you see that goblin. If you'd like to instead step here and use Guiding Bolt on it, that's something you can do.
Friendly figures don't block line of sight, is that correct?
They don't. Can I say anything to him?
I would say no, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fair.
What if there's 3 of them in a line?
If there's 3 of them in a line, then yes, they do have quite a lot of cover.
I would prefer the... If I'm in that position, would I retain line of sight on the other adversary as well as those goblins?
I would...
Or any of those?
I would say so, yes, but they do have partial cover from being behind both the wall here and Shigun.
Okay, then I think I would prefer my prior position in front of Prudence next to Shigun.
Right here. So you do have line of sight on them if you'd like to make the attack, but because Shigun's right here in front of you, that does provide this with partial cover. And because the bugbear is prone, you do roll with disadvantage if it's a ranged attack, so just something to keep in mind.
Range attacks have...
Disadvantage on prone targets, correct.
In that case, I shall...
You can still hold. That's fine.
I can make an attack and still maintain concentration on that on the guiding bolt spell, correct?
You can make a melee attack, yes. You can make a one-handed melee attack because you do need the one hand to maintain the spell.
How would you roll a cantrip?
I was about to ask, what about a cantrip?
It depends on the components. If you need a somatic component, unfortunately, your free hand is currently used up holding the spell.
I didn't realize that.
Because you're holding your weapon in the other hand. You can drop the weapon and then use your offhand. That's something you can do.
I don't really have any reach, so... Does it take an action to pick up a dropped weapon?
Not if it's part of an attack action. Dropping a weapon is a free action. Picking up a weapon is either an action if it's done alone, or if it's done as part of an attack, it's a free action.
What about movement? Or only attacking?
If you're picking it up and then at the end of it you make an attack, I would say that's fine. Because you do get an object, you get a free object interaction every turn, so you can scoot that up on your way over and then make the strike. That's something you could do.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I could like pick it up before moving for an attack or something.
Yep.
In that case, assuming this wouldn't break concentration for holding Guiding Bolt at the end of my turn, I would like to go ahead and drop my Warhammer and use my free hand to cast a Sacred Flame on the Bugbear, I think you called it.
Okay. Yep, you go ahead and...
And it target gains no benefit from cover for the saving throw for that.
It does not, yep. It is a
Good
dex
play.
saving throw, and because it's prone, it has, I believe... oh no, it doesn't have disadvantage on dex throws if it's prone. But it has to succeed on a dex saving throw. What is your spell save DC?
My spell save would be 13.
13. That's a 2. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
That's a D8.
Excellent. That worked out quite nicely. Let's see. Does that get a spellcasting modifier?
It does not.
Okay, just a flat
Casting
one.
one on who?
He's casting Sacred Flame on the Bugbear. That's a 6 damage there. So we're going to do the math. Okay.
I chose it because the situation called for it as an advantage.
Okay.
Advantageous call.
So yeah, you drop your Warhammer on the ground and you make the quick motion and release the Sacred Flame from the ceiling. Radiant energy, this radiant flame descends down onto the Bugbear on the floor, who tries to struggle out of the way but can't quite do it. And you can see he got singed and burnt in places because of that. Do you have anything else you're going to do on your turn?
Nope, I'd like to maintain concentration on Guiding Bolt for readying against the target.
Alrighty, make a concentration check. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Constitution ability check. My mistake.
Okay. 20 plus. Double check my sheet for my con. 2 plus 2.
Yeah, you maintain concentration, no problem.
Excellent.
Alrighty. So that's the end of your turn. Coming back up to the top of the initiative order. Whew! Shigun, your turn.
Alright, it is time for some fun. I'm going to take a step to the side, closer to the blue goblin.
Right here?
I'm sorry my turns take so long.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a swing at the prone bugbear. Do I have advantage at all because he's prone?
You do.
Okay. Is that an extra modifier I add, or?
You roll 2d20 and take the higher. So you can do $ADV and then
Okay.
add your attack modifier, and it'll automatically roll advantage for you. Yeah.
One of those is a nat 20.
So that's a natural 20. And
Okay.
yeah. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Double your dice.
Okay. Now I'm
All your
also,
dice.
before I hit the damage here, I am also going to use my sweeping attack. What that does is I choose another creature within 5 feet of the original target within my reach, and if my attack roll would have hit that second creature, it will take damage equal to the number I roll on my superiority die when I roll that.
Okay.
I don't think it gets the crit modifier though.
It does not. No.
I thought as such. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll my 2d8 plus.
So your original attack will hit the second creature.
Yeah.
So roll on the bugbear first, and then
Yeah.
roll the superiority die on whichever creature you would like to target.
Okay. So
Which is within. Actually, it's yeah, either of them actually.
I'm gonna go 2d8 plus 5 on the bugbear for my damage.
You forgot the 8.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, no, it's 2d8 plus 5. I can't read apparently.
Okay. 12 damage. Okay.
Okay, so now I roll a 1d8 against the blue goblin.
Yep. That's gonna be 7 damage. Alrighty. To do the math. Okay. So you take a step forward at this bugbear who is just roaring with laughter on the ground, and he gets to make another save. You slam down on him with your sword and actually cut a part of his chest open. You split very much down his chest, and in the same stroke you take a quick backswing and strike the other goblin behind you. The strike actually sends it into the wall, and it falls to its knees and stands back up. It hurt a lot. So he's going to the bugbear is not dead, but it's definitely hurting. He is still laughing, and he's going to go ahead and make the save. Yeah, that is an 8 and a 4, so he does not make the save against Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay, I'm going to use Action Surge and take a strike at the red goblin.
Oh, good God. Alrighty. Yeah. Go ahead and take
I
your
love
attack.
fighters.
He's the best tanky boy.
Oh, that might not hit.
Oh no.
That will not hit, unfortunately. Fresh off the high of the massive amount of damage you just dealt, you swing high and bring your sword down to where the red goblin was, and blink and notice your sword's in the floor. The goblin seems to have been able to step out of the way. So you withdraw
Man.
the sword and shake the dirt and blood off of it.
That's the second time you've absolutely underwhelmed with Action Surge.
Alrighty. So that's going to end its turn. As an effect of Tasha's hideous laughter, the bugbear can't do anything, I believe. It is incapacitated.
The blue goblin was
I
still
guess-
alive, right?
I guess there's only a limited supply of awesome to go around, and I used up a bunch of it when I killed a bugbear in 2 shots before anyone else could notice that it existed.
I'm
That's
also
true.
out of my juice from
Alrighty.
the ability.
So,
You did basically just assassinate a bugbear.
alrighty.
That's
So
gonna be it for my turn.
yep. So it
Like,
is now-
I'm content if the rest of the party is like, oh man, we fought 4 goblins and 1 bugbear.
Just whistles nonchalantly.
So the bugbear
Like, yeah.
can't do anything,
that's
but
what we
he will
did.
make a saving throw at the end of his turn. That is a 7, so good lord. He does not make the save against Tasha's hideous laughter, and he continues to just roll. He's clutching his wounds, and you can see the tears of pain streaming down his face, but he can't seem to shake this laughter.
This is a wonderful mental image.
Yeah. Moving on, Hoyd.
Alright, I put a wicked grin on my face and put my left hand on the dagger on my belt. I'm going to strike at the goblin with my rapier.
Okay. Go ahead and do that.
That's a 23.
Yep, that'll hit.
Absolutely ludicrous amount of damage.
And that's max damage. That's 11.
11. Whew. So, you place your hand on your dagger, and you see the goblin's eyes look down towards the dagger, and you come around with your rapier and lop its head clean off, and it just crumples down onto the floor in front of you.
I flick the blood off the blade.
Okay. Finishing the maneuver, you flick the blood off of the blade. Are you going to move this turn?
I am. I'm going
There's
to... How
the
close can I get behind
Expended bear trap there.
Shigun?
Behind Shigun. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll get you there. Next to him.
Can I go right to the one? Right below Rurik. Thank
Right
you.
there? Yeah. That'll get you. So 5, 10, 15, 20 will get you there.
I was hoping
And
none of
the
these
lightning.
goblins have
You can
grenades.
see all the way down to the end of the hallway now.
Okay. The blue goblin that he was in front of, was that the one he attacked and hit the wall?
Yes.
It was the one he hit. Yes. Make a perception check for me, please.
No, that's not good. It's a 2+.
Okay. That's all.
That's 4.
Yeah. So yep. We're just gonna stay there. Cool.
Can I? Can I use my bonus action?
Two.
2-weapon fighting. Throw my dagger at the blue goblin.
I'm not sure if you can split it up like that. I want to say you can, but let me double check. Because you have the 2-weapon fighting. When you take an attack action, you can.
What?
I don't think there's anything that says you can't.
I don't get to do anything
But
cool.
let me double check. This is what I get for putting my PHB away. I'm like, I'll be fine. Nope.
Yeah, I know everything, right?
Well, I wasn't expecting you guys to be difficult today.
The only way I get to be cool is with spiritual weapon, but I'm out of 2nd level spell slots.
Well, don't feel bad. I had to look up how my maneuvers all work again. So.
Alrighty. 2-weapon fighting. When you take attack action and attack with a light melee weapon, you can use the bonus action. Yeah, I'd say you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't say
I'm
you
okay with
can't
that.
split it up that way.
Yeah, it's the only thing that splits is movement, and
Yeah, you can do that.
okay, then I'll do that.
You're gonna be striking the goblin behind.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a 14.
It does have partial cover because of
Oh, it does?
Shigun right in front of him.
What about the red goblin?
The red goblin would not, because that's over the currently incapacitated
Okay, I'll do the red goblin.
bugbear.
I didn't know
Okay.
how much cover there was there.
So I will
Goblin,
just
blue
14.
goblin.
I'll use the same roll, so 14. Unfortunately, so you fling your dagger at it, and it catches the dagger, and the dagger actually sticks into its shield. And you see it stumble. It wasn't expecting that, but unfortunately that did not score a hit.
Fair enough. -1 dagger.
Alrighty, that gonna be your turn?
Yes.
Alrighty, it is the goblin's turn. Now, the red and blue goblins there, what they are going to do, blah blah blah, gotta double check something, how that works. Oh wait, do they not have it here? Oh, there they do, okay. Blah blah blah. No, that's not the right. I have to go double check in a different book. Oh god. There we go. Close on. Okay, so these two goblins, you see both of them look at each other, they link their arms together and charge at Shigun.
What the fuck?
They're gonna fuse.
Oh,
They're gonna
don't
combine.
worry.
They're gonna
Let's see.
combine.
That will be a 21 to hit.
Oh crap!
Wow.
Alrighty. So, that will be a 21, and you are going to take, let's make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. 15. Oh, thank goodness. 15 and 13. Alrighty. Woo! Finally, I'm rolling well. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone and stunned until the end of the next round, is it? Jesus,
Oh,
this thing is
goodness.
busted. Why do I keep looking away from it? Yeah, creatures knocked prone and stunned until the end of their next turn. So the end of your next turn, you're stunned until then. And one of them falls over as a result of that. He trips over the laughing bugbear and falls prone.
Does he take any damage?
The goblin,
No. Shigun.
he took
Yeah,
2 points of
he took-
bludgeoning damage
Okay, that gets reduced to 0 because of my trait.
because of your damage reduction. But you are still knocked prone and stunned.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
both of them, this one's going to use half its movements to stand. This one's going to go 5, 10, 15 out of sight. This one's going to go 5, 10, 15. That's as far as it can get. So you can see it at the end of the hallway here. but that's as far as it can get.
Those
That is,
fucking cowards.
and none of you are close enough to make that check, so that's fine. Alrighty, up next we have Zook. Zook,
Okay.
who up until this point has heard a lot of the fighting, but not seen a whole lot of it besides taking down the bugbear.
Alright, so...
That's okay. He'll be the unknown hero.
Okay, so the ones, like... The spot to my right, like... Yeah, if I were to stand there next to the pit trap, would I be able to see the fallen bugbear? I probably wouldn't. Okay,
No,
I'm gonna...
there's a wall right here, so no, you wouldn't be able
Okay.
to.
How about the spot just to the right of that wall?
Here?
Yeah. Would I be able to see the bugbear?
I'd say so, yeah.
Would I be able to sneak attack the bugbear from that spot?
You have disadvantage on the attack, so no.
Okay.
But you can still attack.
So I'm gonna move to that spot.
Okay. 25. In order to make it there, you will have to go over, like, skirt to the edge of the pit trap. Otherwise, the maximum
like-
movement would get you on top of Rurik, and you can't stop in an ally's space.
Can I, like, jump?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, or athletics check. Excuse me. Athletics check.
I thought this is acrobatics.
For this type of thing, because jumping is a strength-based thing, it would be athletics. Don't worry, the
I
DC's
thought that
not
was acrobatics.
the DC's not super high. Don't worry.
I'm at -1 to athletics. I'm wondering if I should risk this.
You'll be fine.
What's
I
the
was,
worst
I
gonna
was
happen?
gonna be like, oh, can I just, like, make a long stride, like, around the corner to, like, just step over it? But I'm a gnome, of course I can't do that.
Yeah, your tiny little legs won't get you that far, unfortunately.
Why not? Okay.
So you take a step and you go to jump. Your foot slips on the edge of the pit, but you manage to catch yourself and climb your way up to the pit. Its DC was 5. You're fine.
Okay.
But now the cover on the top of the pit, you see it slowly just plummet down into the pit. So there's
Okay.
now a visible hole on the ground here that I'm coloring all the way unnecessarily, but there it is. And you guys can't even see it. It's because it's behind Zook.
I will shoot at the bugbear that's on the floor.
Okay. You attack with disadvantage.
Disadvantage, so Dev +6.
Yeah. 21 will hit.
Alright, and so then that's not a sneak attack, so I'm just gonna...
It is not. Okay. So you fire the arrow, and it's kind of hard to see where he's rolling, and you release the shot, and you hear the laughter, and the laughter dies. And as the bugbear rolls over onto its back, you see the arrow had actually gone right into where Shigun had cut open, into what you would assume to be roughly its upper torso heart area. So that bugbear is now dead.
2 for 2.
Alrighty. Is that going to be your turn? I think that's all you can do on this turn.
I also hide as a bonus action.
Okay. Sure. Make a stealth
Up
check.
against this wall. Just in case something happens. Stealth, so that's...
Okay, good to know.
Mr. +8 to stealth.
Moving on. Prudence. What would you like to do? I suppose in hindsight, I could have ordered the player cards in the I would say he is stunned. So his body, like if you stood him up, he would collapse down to the floor, unfortunately.
I think at level 4, I expect to have a plus 9 to stealth, and then...
Sorry, what's up? Somebody was talking? Okay, no.
Oh, I was
and
just.
then at level 5, I'll have a plus 11 to stealth.
Hold on. Rurik, you were saying something?
I was just going to say that I was also going to try to help Shigun up if it was possible, but Prudence beat me to it.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So you're going to go 10 feet south of Shigun, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Actually, we'll get you here. Make a perception first. As you step forward, make a perception check. Yeah, you don't see any other traps in the immediate area. However, you do see, huddled in the corner, just like holding its arms up and trying to remain as still as possible among a giant pile of like rags and burlap, another goblin just sitting like crouched down and shivering. But you do not see any other traps in the area. Yeah, I'd say you still have your action. You moving forward is what triggered me to make the perception check. So, okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack. Roll an attack. Roll an attack with disadvantage because it is effectively prone, like curled up in a tiny little ball on the floor.
Is there any damage difference for a heavy crossbow than a light crossbow?
There is.
Uh-huh.
Are you proficient in the use of a heavy crossbow? As a wizard? Okay. So you wouldn't add your proficiency mod. Alrighty. So since that was rolled at disadvantage, we take the first one, so that's a 13, which unfortunately does not hit. So you raise up the crossbow, load a bolt, chunk, and it's loud. This thing is loud. But because of the force going into it, the shot goes wide and buries into the wall, somewhere over there-ish. You kind of look at the crossbow and nod with like a very oh yeah look, but it unfortunately did not hit. But you can tell this thing really packs a punch. Okay, so that's gonna be end of your turn, Rurik. For your guys' reference, so far none of you have succeeded in seeing him. All you know is that Prudence fired a crossbow into the corner.
I was actually going to ask about would I have line of sight on that one?
Around the corner and with Hoyd standing there, I'd say it would have 3/4 cover. You can see... make a perception check, just to see if you can even see him. Stepping into the room is usually the threshold for me, asking people to make the perception checks, and you haven't quite gotten that far yet. Yeah, unfortunately you don't see it, and even if you did, it would have 3/4 cover because of the wall and Hoyd standing right there.
Okay.
I will do this just to entice you a bit. Just go a little bit, just to entice you a bit.
Entice?
Yep, just a mild encouragement. That's all.
Wow, encouragement.
You think we need encouragement?
Hey, that's your job, Mr. Bard. Rurik, what would you like to do?
I am going to pick up my warhammer with my free hand as I make my way over towards on the other side of Shigun towards the red goblin.
5, 10, 15, 20. You can get within melee range of him if you like.
Excellent. I would like to approach in melee range.
Okay.
And I shall take a swing at him with my warhammer.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack. That's the nice thing about concentration. Regular actions don't break concentration. So.
Excellent. That's what I'm trying to do is maintain that. That would be strength modifier, correct?
Whatever your attack bonus is, which should be your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
All right. I keep forgetting all the different components that make that up.
There should be
+3.
on the. Yep. You only have +1 for your strength, really?
Yeah.
No, you have +2. A 13 is a +2, I believe.
What?
I have a 13 in wisdom, and that's +1.
Oh, is it? My bad. Never mind. So it's a +1.
Yeah. The sheet has it listed as +1, and it's
Okay.
calculated automatically.
Alrighty, yeah. So that was a 5. Unfortunately, you go to take the swing, and you.
Wait, what?
So you roll a. Oh no, that was your perception check. I was mixing things up. Yeah, a 22 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Let's see, 1d8, and that gets the +1 for strength.
Correct. Okay, 8 damage on Mr. Red Goblin there. Okay, so you holding this spell, holding this glowing form in front of you, you swing upwards with the warhammer and crack the goblin across its jaw, and it stumbles back a couple of steps and looks up at you, its beady little black eyes just sort of staring at you blankly. Okay, is that going to be your turn?
Yes, I will continue to hold my guidance or guidance bolt.
Guiding bolt. All right, go ahead and roll a concentration check.
That was plus Constitution again,
Correct.
or
because it takes a physical force of effort to maintain this kind of a spell.
oh no.
Unfortunately, as the warhammer comes up and cracks the goblin, you look down and you see in your other hand the spell has dissipated.
Oh no.
Unfortunately.
Wasted.
So there's that. So that's going to be the end of your turn. Coming back up to the top of the initiative order. Shigun, you are stunned this turn. Unfortunately, you can't take any actions.
Huzzah!
But at the end of your, at the end of your turn, you are no longer stunned. You are still prone. So next turn, you'll start your next turn prone.
Okay, so I basically just skip a turn for me, basically.
More or less, yeah. That's what the stun does.
Does he still have a reaction?
Because, yeah, he still has a reaction.
Okay.
Because it's now the start of his next turn, so he gets that reaction back. He is still prone, though, so whatever reaction you can do from prone. Okay, it would be the bugbears, but they're dead. Next up is Hoyd.
So I am within range of the red goblin, right?
I'd say so. Because Rurik is standing there, he does have partial cover.
That's fine with me. I don't need cover for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna look straight at him, say, "You have something of mine," and say, "Vicious mockery."
Okay. Vicious mockery. That's a save, I believe?
It's a 13 wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw? Oh no. Oh no. That's a 1.
Ooh, that's a 4 damage.
No. Even worse. That's a 0. They have a -1 to wisdom.
Ooh, do I get double damage?
You do not, but that's 4 damage?
Oh,
Okay.
that's 4 damage.
Alrighty. So you stare down this goblin, and he like sort of looks confused over the shoulder of this dwarf, and you say you know, use your vicious mockery, and for a second his ears twitch, and then his eyes roll back into his head, and he collapses onto the ground. Congratulations! You just insulted a goblin to death.
Intimidated him to death.
Congratulations!
Oh, it's wonderful. No, it's a little wonderful.
Yeah. Congratulations! You just insulted a goblin to death.
That's great.
All right, you gonna do
All
anything
right,
else this turn?
Bards are fun.
I am. I got 2 more things to do.
Okay.
I'm going to use my movement speed to go to where he was and collect my dagger.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Here, you do now see the other goblin around the corner here.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to use my bonus action.
Oh, you cut off there.
My bonus action. I'm looking at Shigun, Rurik, and myself. And I
Okay.
yell at Shigun, "Get up!" I use Mantle of Inspiration.
Okay. How many times a day can you use that? Or is it a bardic inspiration die to do that?
Bardic Inspiration die.
Okay. And I think you have a couple more of those left, so.
I do. I have 1 left after this.
Alrighty.
So I grant 5 temporary hit points to Rurik, Shigun, and myself, and all 3 of us can immediately use their reaction to move up to half their speed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, move up to my speed.
Up to your movement speed, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Without
so-
provoking up attacks.
Alrighty.
Did
Yeah.
you hear that?
So, that was Rurik, yourself, and Shigun, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I'll just go in order. Shigun, would you like to use your movement to stand and then move up to half your movement speed? Or-
yeah.
Do what you like with that.
Well, I do want to stand.
So you come up from prone.
Do I
Yeah.
see the black goblin that's over in the corner there? Like, what all can I see?
Make a perception check. It's very, very, very dark. The light you now see, all of you now see, there are 2 torch sconces right here, and there's a small chest on the ground.
Am I about to come up on the initiative order? I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yes, you are actually next.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately you don't. You see a bunch of rags on the floor. You don't see the goblin, unfortunately,
Okay.
because it hasn't been pointed out to you yet.
All right. I will hold my position.
Oh, okay. In that case, Prudence at the end of Prudence's turn, he just said goblin, and
Okay.
just sort of pointed vaguely in that
He
direction.
said it
so-
when he spotted it.
Goblin.
Did he? Okay.
In that case, I'm going to start heading toward that goblin, but I'm not going to stand directly between him and Prudence.
Okay. So you can move up to 15 feet. So 5, 10, 15, or 5,
Yeah,
10,
there.
15 here.
Yeah, right there.
Alrighty. Next, Rurik. You can move up to your movement speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. I will say, Zook, you can go ahead. We'll wait for you.
Okay, BRB.
I guess I'll just go ahead and step in front of Hoyd then.
Just one step right here.
Yeah, I'll approach that goblin.
Okay. Oh, you're approaching me. You can see actually all the way back. You don't see this, but you can see all the way to the back there.
Awesome.
And I just gotta double check. There's a couple things here. You do see another goblin right there.
Hello, friend.
So many goblins.
Alrighty. And
Oh, I actually had a
Hoyd.
quick question.
yes.
I already had 5 temporary hit points. Did the new 5 replace the old 5, or do I now have 10?
They replace.
It replaces.
Yeah, temp
Okay.
temp hit points don't stack. You do get to choose though, so if you get 5 from one thing and 2 from another, you can choose to pick the 5.
Okay.
as long as the effect didn't dispel or lose concentration or whatever.
Gotcha.
Hoyd, you can move if you'd like.
Yes, thank you, Hoyd. You're an inspiration to have around.
Ha ha.
I think I'm gonna stay put. Actually, I don't really want to move anywhere.
Okay, so you stay put.
I'm back. What I miss?
You actually see
Which
a
also
chair.
preserves my reaction.
It does, yes, because you chose not to take the reaction. You see it, Rurik. You just see a large chair that's been cobbled together from bits and pieces. Like, it was never actually a chair. It just kind of cobbled together very crudely. Around the top of the chair is a more or less like the medieval equivalent of barbed wire. There's just wire and sticks and stuff around the top of this chair. Alrighty, Zook, it is your turn.
Jeez.
Well, that always seems a bit crowded. Okay, you know the square like just up and to the left of where Prudence is?
Here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and hide there instead.
Okay.
And move my post.
I will say you don't need to roll stealth again because nothing is actively looking at you. So
Yeah, okay.
you'll maintain the same stealth, which I think was a 21 or something. Something like that.
Something in that range, yeah.
21, 22, something in that range.
I will
Alrighty.
keep watch for
Are
any
you
threats.
gonna hold an action? There is as a point of note, there is a chest right here with 2 torch sconces above it.
I will keep watch for any threats.
Okay.
Probably.
so-
Crap.
I'll say you ready.
Okay. If I ready an action, do I get to choose whether to use it as a reaction, or does it just automatically fire?
No, you have the choice of using it. So if you
Okay, so
ready
I'm
an
gonna-
attack and then choose not to
I'm
take
going-
that attack, that's fine.
I'm gonna ready my bow.
Okay, so you ready an attack. What is the trigger for you? I mean, it can be as simple
If
as
I
like
spot-
a new enemy comes in range or whatever. So
Yeah, if I spot an enemy that's not the goblin hiding in the corner.
okay, so if another goblin comes into or another enemy comes into view, okay, got it. Next up, Prudence. What would you like to do?
What is that, Hoyd?
Ah, yes. What is this wondrous appearance?
When I use Mantle Inspiration, I can appear wondrous for a minute.
But sorry. But you're already wondrous.
Okay, so you walk up to the goblin, who as you get closer, it does see you, and you can see he shrinks back. No! And you fling the burlap sacks that it was hiding under his side, and you point over at the doorway, I assume, like up this way, and just say, "Leave." Okay. Is that going to be your turn? Alrighty. Rurik, it is your turn.
All right then. Let's see. There's still a goblin over me. Well then, since I don't have concentration on that spell anymore, I shall. I think I'll just take a swing at the goblin in front of me with my hammer.
Okay, roll an attack. Yeah, a 19 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay. So you come back around in a similar motion. You're basically at this point, as you walk, you're swinging your hammer, and as you take a step, you bring the hammer down just casually as if you were swatting a fly, and you bat this goblin aside. He hits the wall and slides down, and remains motionless. Alrighty. You have all of your movement left, and you have a bonus action if you have any bonus actions left, spells left.
Sadly, would have loved to have been using spiritual weapon, but I'm out of second level spell slots today.
I mean, we don't seem to be having any problems here.
Not yet. I think
It's been yet, like 3 times.
I blame the deletions.
Can't really think of anything else I'd want to do at this moment. Could I take a closer look at the room in front of me? Or is there... Or would the goblin there be in the way?
I'd say all that you can see past him, like you see the chair here, you do see some light coming from somewhere in this direction. Looks like another torch sconce or small fire of some kind. But without moving into the room, that's pretty much all you can see.
Alright. I don't have anything else at this time.
Realistically, this is what you actually know, but I'm giving you this.
Alright, I'm good.
Okay, ending your turn. Back around to the top. The goblin is going to do a layer... No. Those of you who know what layer actions are, you're going to have fun in a couple levels. Shigun,
Okay.
it is your turn.
Okay. The cowering goblin in the corner, does he seem like he's still a threat?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I don't see any... He's just gonna be cowering.
No! This goblin does not appear to be a threat whatsoever.
Okay. I'm going to stand my position, but I'm going to ready an attack just in case he does try something funny.
Okay, we'll stay there and ready an attack in case that goblin does something.
Because I heard Prudence tell him to leave, so I'm going to let that happen unless the goblin decides to, pull a fast one or something.
Alrighty. Okay, so that's going to be your turn. Would be the bugbears, but they're dead. Hoyd.
Alright, let me see if I can get closer. What is behind my mini?
That is Rurik, right directly behind.
Okay, nothing to the left of that, other than the purple goblin.
Nothing that you can see. You do also now see the mold in the hallway here with some sort of dust or motes drifting through the space.
Okay.
But in this direction, since you're around the corner, you can't really, not really.
I didn't realize that was there.
Yeah, just dust. It doesn't appear to be obstructed, but you can see like this brownish mold kind of growing along the walls, occasionally emitting a little puff of spores.
Yeah, that seems bad. I did not realize that was there.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So I'm gonna move in front of the purple goblin.
Okay.
I was in the area. I figured if there was something to see, I would have been
Right to here.
told.
I told Zook that the first time we rounded the corner. I apologize.
Yeah,
for
and then it was like this hallway's trapped.
Yep, I remember that.
Okay.
Oh, right, you did say that. My
So
bad.
never mind. No, actually, I'll say, yeah, you can see into the rest of the room. You spot 2 more goblins standing here.
Okay.
With their weapons ready.
What do they have?
They're both holding scimitars.
Okay. And the goblin in front of me?
A scimitar as well.
Okay.
They're all kind of rusted and shitty, but they're there.
Okay, I will put my offhand on my dagger and attack with my rapier again.
Okay.
It's a 15.
That is a 15. 15 just hits. Alrighty. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 8.
8. Let me find him here. Okay. So you, with your rapier, with your one hand at the side held up, you whip your rapier in front of you and jab forward, almost in like a fencing riposte. And you catch the goblin in the shoulder, and he growls at you and looks up, and as you withdraw, you can see he's not in a good place.
Okay, I will use my offhand strike and attack with the dagger.
Okay.
That is a 7 plus 5 is 12.
12
Ooh.
unfortunately doesn't hit. So as you withdraw the rapier, you whip off the blood, and in the same motion whipping off the blood, you bring your dagger around, backhanded. But this time the goblin's sort of ready for it, and he ducks quickly out of the way, clutching his shoulder. Okay. Is that going to be your turn?
Okay. And that is... That will be my turn.
Alrighty. Now it is the goblin's turn. So this goblin is going to take a... Yeah. This goblin's going to disengage and step back. Can't... Like almost just about on the chair, like with his back to the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to draw out his short bow and take a shot at you. If I can find.
Does he get disengage?
Yes, they do. They have the nimble escape ability. They can disengage as a bonus action. Yes, they can.
Crap. Damn it.
Oh, I didn't realize disengage was an action. I thought you were using disengage as a verb.
Yeah, no. Disengage as an action. It allows you to move out of threatened space without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
For most.
I always use the
characters-
term disengage as in to step away from. So
Yeah.
Okay.
For
I
most
need to keep that in
characters,
mind.
Yeah, for most characters, disengage is an action. For rogues and certain monsters, they can disengage as a bonus action instead.
Oh, hello.
That is going to be, if I can do the math, 15. Hoyd, I think that hits, right?
14. Yep, it was a 14 AC.
Alrighty, 26 plus 2. That's 4 damage. So, sort of limping his arm up, he takes a shot at you that just like grazes past your shoulder. It draws a little blood, but nothing too major.
I shrug it off.
Okay. Did I miss something? I did. Ooh, well. I will say retroactively, make a perception check, Hoyd, please.
13.
13. Now I gotta flip to that page because I don't remember what it is. What the...
And this is why you put points in perception.
Yup. Where are you? Come on. Okay.
Well,
I
well,
will
putting-
say you did see there's a set of what appear to be like almost scythes, just like bladed, like long poles with blades at the end of some kind, and you managed, I will just say for the sake of this and not disrupt the flow, you did manage to step over it and not trigger it. However, it is still armed. So anyone trying to go over that will either have to disarm it or make a dex save moving forward to get over it.
There's
Bart
a
is
what?
so good at recon.
There's some kind of a bladed weapon trap. It's filthy. There's refuse on top of it and stuff. But Hoyd did see it, and he, for the sake of this, was able to point it out to you guys. Yeah, that's going to end the goblin's turn. You see these two goblins look at each other and not do anything else. Moving up, we have Zook. Sorry, same turn. This goblin here in the corner, despite the command like being told to leave, he continues to shrink back into himself, and he says, "No hurt dip, no hurt dip." So that'll end their turn. we have Zook
I
next.
think it was probably using its own name.
Okay. Has Zook ever heard of mimics?
Mimics? Make an intelligence check, I guess.
That's also like all like what are they in the world and what I know about them.
Yes, that would be an intelligence check. I'd say you've heard rumors of things in various dungeons and such that might not be exactly what they appear to be, but specifically mimics is not something you necessarily would have heard of.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move to where Hoyd was standing earlier, like that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What can I see around the corner?
You can see this trap. You realistically you can only see to about. Get out of the way, Hoyd. Your line of sight kind of terminates here. You can't really see much beyond this next space around the corner.
Can I use my thieves' tools to disarm the trap?
I'll say yes. Typically, I'd have to have you standing where Rurik is, but I say you're small enough and nimble enough you can make the attempt around the corner. I will say there will be an increase to the DC as a result of being around the corner.
Okay, what skill check is that?
It's a dex. It's roll d20, add your dex and your proficiency mod. Yeah, okay. So working very carefully and quickly because you're on a bit of a time crunch, you look at the thing, you kind of press down lightly from what little you can see, and you notice a little triggering mechanism, and with your dagger you cut the triggering mechanism. 4 blades whoosh, come over and clamp down on the space, but nobody's in the space, so it doesn't hurt anyone. The trap has now been effectively disarmed.
Okay. And then as a bonus action, I hide in this spot.
Okay, yeah, make a stealth check. Just because the trap has gone off and they know you're there. Well, they know someone's there, they don't know you're there.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I'd take it. Like, you know, at this point, I'd be surprised if Rurik can see me.
You just faded into the ether.
Rurik, make a perception check. Actually, no, Rurik, what's your passive perception? I think it's 14. Yeah, you just see Zook kind of vanish from sight behind you.
The heck is passive perception?
So it's below all of the skills. It says passive perception. It's at this moment it's 8 plus proficiency mod plus no, it's just 8 plus your wisdom, I believe. So you have a passive perception of 12. Unless you're proficient in perception, which I have no idea if you are.
This thing says passive wisdom perception is 13.
There you go. So it's 13. Yeah. So Zook just like the Predator, he just kind of shimmers and disappears as he backs into the wall.
Peace, and he just vanishes.
Prudence, it is your turn.
Maybe we should like take my mini off the board for effect.
I mean, I could do I could Goblin one.
No, that's
okay.
fine.
I could use the new deer mini that I have, but we'll save that for later. Okay, so you walk around the corner here. You don't need to bother disengaging. He doesn't take a swing at you, and you move up to the chest. Make an investigation check for me.
Yes, I'm curious what we have in here.
$22. The chest is not trapped, it is locked. Okay.
It's a shame nobody's good at that.
So you'll leave it. You have used.
What do you mean? We have a roguish bard and a thief.
Okay, you have 5 more feet of movement. So
I don't know where he is.
Like 1 back, and then that'll be.
I don't know where he went.
That'll be it. Okay. There you go.
Where'd Zook go?
It is Rurik's turn.
What is this
like
weird
to do?
disembodied voice that sounds like Zook, but I don't see him?
So Rurik, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Nick. The bladed trap has been sprung, correct?
As far as you can tell, yes. It flung refuse everywhere, and it was kind of gross. But no, as far as you can tell, there's nothing remaining that can be triggered in that space.
All right. I would like to move through that hallway carefully, stepping around the bladed contraption, taking special care not to touch anything filthy.
Okay, so you pick your way through here. For the sake of it, mechanically, I'll say it's difficult terrain, so you take 10 feet to move through this space because you're being real careful. But that does give you still 20 feet, so 5, 10, 15. That can get you to here if you move all the way forward.
Yes. I would
Okay.
like to approach the... That is a goblin, right?
It is. So you move all the way forward. As you walk through the threshold, make a perception check for... actually, no. It's too late for that. Make a dexterity saving throw, please, as you step into the room.
Oh, no. Oh. Fucking... 1 moment. I need to check a thing.
Okay.
I have chainmail. Is that a disadvantage on dexterity saves? Because I just have a note here where it says disadvantage on stealth.
It is not. In previous editions it did, but no, not this time. And if
Okay.
you were wearing armor that you were not proficient with, you would, but no.
Okay.
You don't take disadvantage. It's not great. So
Fair enough. Where is this? Okay, it's just a 0. Okay, so it's just a flat d20.
It does limit your max dex bonus, but I don't think it matters to you.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
yeah, look at you. So you
Surprisingly deft.
yeah. So you as you walk into the room, you feel a cord snap as you walk through. You do manage, because of your dexterity save, you do manage to dodge what appear to be some kind of a rock, like a very large rock. There's several rocks that fall from the ceiling. You do manage to avoid most of them. However, one of them does manage to crack you right in the shoulder. And you take, if I could roll the correct die here, 5 points of bludgeoning damage as 4 or 5 rocks have just collapsed from the ceiling above you.
Oh, geez, and that was with a good roll.
Rocks fall, cleric doesn't die.
If you had failed the save, I would have rolled for everyone. Since you succeeded, I only rolled for one of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll take the 5.
Alrighty.
I wasn't expecting a second trap to be in such close proximity to this one.
So you move.
That's why they put it
They
there.
did. That's how they got me, and they did get me.
It's almost like bugbears are intelligent or something.
Yeah, right? They definitely had me in the
so
first half.
Do you continue to move forward and move all the way up?
Yes.
Okay, so you move all the way up. As you pass
Can
the
I-
yellow one, say what's up?
Never mind. That's a dumb joke. Never mind.
As you pass the yellow, the white and the yellow goblins link arms, and they're going to use their reaction to make a clothesline attack against you.
Boy, those things are there.
Yup. That is going to
did not-
be.
Uh-huh. I did not realize those were there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hoyd's mini was in the way. I should
Always
do
in the
that.
way.
What's done is done.
That
take
is
my
going to
position.
be. What do they get? A plus. Oh, +5 to hit. Yeah. So that's a 20 to hit.
Fantastic.
Not a natural 20, but a 20 total, which I believe hits. So you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage and fall prone, and you are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Wow, I didn't even get to do anything. I'm just a bumbling oaf.
Hey, everything you can do, the monsters can do too. They can ready actions just as much as you can. And the yellow one here. The yellow. I did the white one first. The yellow one. Its grass slips and he trips over you and falls prone as well. So unfortunately, that's gonna be your turn.
I was gonna do something, but now I can't.
So
I totally didn't realize the goblins were there. I should have just used what I was going to do beforehand.
Moving down the list, that is the end of Rurik's turn. Shigun.
Yeah, but then Zook vanished next to you, and that must have thrown you off.
I guess I just got confused.
Since the goblin in the corner is no longer a threat, I'm going to make my way towards the hallway where everyone is.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll get you right to the entranceway here.
And I'm going to tell Prudence I'm going to go help the others as I'm running past them.
What if Gib has the key?
I was about to yell at Shigun to do that.
Do what?
Alrighty.
To get over here.
Yeah, well, I had to make sure Prudence wasn't going to get friggin' goblin knife jacked by that dude in the corner.
Bearing in mind, shouting would break your stealth, just automatically, because it's loud.
Well, then
Just
lucky that I didn't have to do that.
Something to bear in mind for the future. Alrighty, so that's the... Is that going to be your turn? Or you have anything else you're going to do?
Well, since I can't kill anything within immediate range, except the bard, which I'm not going to, I'm going to go ahead and end my turn here.
You could try, but you would probably fail.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and end your turn there.
Yeah.
Bugbears are dead. Hoyd. What would you like to do?
Alright.
I mean, there's also like an invisible rogue, but...
A what?
No, nothing.
I don't know. Anything's going on. Okay, so I'm going to round the corner.
Okay. You're going to come around the corner here.
Yeah, I'm going to attack the white goblin.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack. They've
It's
expended
20?
their reaction. Yeah, 20 hits, go ahead and roll damage. They've expended their reaction, so they can't do it again, as much as I would like them to.
Excellent.
I
That
took one for the
is-
team.
7 damage.
7 damage on the white one. Okay. Making your way into the hallway, you almost without looking, you just flick your rapier out, and you catch the goblin right under its chin. And you don't think you hurt it that much, but you feel a weight on your blade as it just slumps off to the side.
Okay. And I'm going to heft my dagger in my left hand and flick it idly at the purple.
Okay.
That's a 14. 14.
14 hits. Roll damage.
Okay.
14 barely hits, but it does. Actually, no, I lied. Sorry, 15. 15 is their AC, so unfortunately, 14 does not hit.
That sucks.
I was
All right.
misremembering. So you go and flick the dagger, and coming off from the badassery of your first attack, you think you had it, but it just kind of hits him, like flat almost, and just slides to the floor, and he looks down and looks up at you confused.
Okay. And then, which of the two goblins that knocked over Rurik?
It was these two in the corner. One of whom you killed, the other whom is now prone because they knocked themselves prone.
Okay.
You can't really
All
see,
right.
but
I'm
he's
going.
there.
I'm gonna move next to the purple,
Okay, so you were here.
left of Rurik.
5, 10, 15 here.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go flank. Cause fuck it. Can I?
25. Yeah, you can Yes, you can make it that far, I think.
Okay.
5, 10,
Then that'll work.
15, 20, 25, yeah.
Good.
And that
I'll
would
do
be
that.
30, but yeah. Okay.
Right, I have 30 movement, so that's fine.
Yep. Half elves.
Well, non-gnomes, non-dwarves.
Or halflings. Can't forget about the halflings.
Do they matter?
Well, Prudence, you're up.
Tieflings matter.
Do they? What implement do you have with which to do that? Oh, you actually have a crowbar. That's right.
He
you brought
actually
one.
has a crowbar.
Okay,
Yeah.
just because the rogue is missing doesn't mean I stopped doesn't mean I stopped existing.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Prudence, I'm gonna actually hold you there. I will say yes, but I'm so sorry, Zook. You vanished from my mind as well. It is actually your turn.
Oh, okay. Can I
Too many pieces on the board, man.
can I like peek around this corner and like shoot at the yellow dude?
Well, so you wouldn't be able to stop in this space. If you go here, I'd say so, but you do have disadvantage because he's prone. And he's under partial cover behind the wall.
I'm gonna step up to the one space to the left from the trap position.
Okay.
I am going to.
Yeah, he no longer has partial cover, but you do still have disadvantage because he's prone.
Okay. Can I see the purple one?
Yes, easily. He's
Okay.
back against a chair.
Okay. How about I bonus action hide?
The problem here is, what are you hiding behind? So you wouldn't really be able to hide in that position because there's nothing to hide behind.
Rurik?
He's prone. He's prone on the ground.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Is that a no?
I'd say you wouldn't be able to. No, yeah, from
Why
further
do you
back in
need
the
to?
hallway, unfortunately. Yeah, you wouldn't.
Okay,
be able to
I'm just gonna
stealth into
shoot.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot at the purple dude then.
it. Okay, go ahead and shoot. He's trying to get
So
sneak attack, but
actually,
we
wait a
already have
minute. Wait a minute. Hoyd's right there, so
Yeah.
I do have sneak attack.
Welcome.
you have sneak attack damage anyway because there's an enemy within melee range.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
So, I will say,
So
Hoyd, he does have half 3/4 cover from you because the chair is in the way, but you can't. That's enough for you to be still threatening. So
does that give me advantage? Do I have advantage?
no.
Okay,
It would be
so
advantage if you were in
20
melee range,
plus-
but flanking doesn't work ranged, so.
6.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
This is a 22 hit. Okay,
Yeah.
So then
Zook having all the amazing rolls.
3d6 plus 4.
Yeah. So, you
I want to pin him to the chair.
if that is the thing you can do. Goblins are light enough, and you certainly dealt enough damage over what was left. So you draw your bow up and see Rurik on the floor, and just very carefully and slowly line up the shot. And the goblin's like looking at you, tensing, not sure what you're about to do. And before it can blink, you've released the arrow, and it's driven through one of his shoulders and pinned him to the chair. You can hear the chair crack as it's suddenly having to bear the weight of this goblin. But he does stay standing. You basically push him into the chair and then pin him onto the chair. So, there's that. Is that gonna...
Did that kill him?
He's not moving.
Okay. Well then, I'm going to hide as a bonus action against the north wall from the yellow goblin.
Oh, against this wall? Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead
Okay,
and roll
then I'll
stealth.
do that. Roll for stealth.
Okay. Good to know. Now we have Prudence. So you were going to go crowbar that chest open. Go ahead and make a strength check.
She already had it ready.
18. Okay. Yeah, it takes quite a bit of effort, and it's a little hard for someone as scrawny as you. But you do manage to... The lock breaks. The chest doesn't open all the way this turn, but the lock does break, and the heavy lid is now openable. It is not open, but it's openable. Yeah, that's what prestidigitation is for. Open the jar. Open the jar. Open the jar. Or Mage Hand can also do that. Okay, so that's gonna be your turn. It would be Rurik's turn, but Rurik is currently stunned. Coming to the end of his turn, Rurik, your turn is over. You are no longer stunned. You will start your next turn prone.
Lovely.
Okay. Shigun, it is your turn.
Okay. The stuff that's in front of me, that's a trap that's already sprung, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Does that impede my movement at all to go through it?
It does not, no.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into the room. And that's a, is that yellow guy in the corner, is that a goblin?
Yeah, sorry, hard to see. I'll
Okay.
do that.
Is he...
Yes, that is a goblin that you can strike at if you would like. And because he's prone, you have advantage.
Okay. And that's ADV, right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, I will go ahead and do that with my longsword.
Yeah, let me check here. I think that'll hit. Yeah.
That's just a normal hit for me.
Okay. The goblin you can see is struggling up to his feet. You just kind of shake your head and drive your sword into the back of his head through his neck into the floor, and he twitches for a second and then just slides down and falls limp onto the floor.
Awesome.
Okay, so this isn't relevant, but I got a question.
Yep.
So it says for Mage Hand that you can use the Mage Hand to manipulate an object. My question, 10 pounds. Okay, that was my question. Never mind.
There you go. Yep. You can manipulate an object and carry an object of up to 10 pounds. Okay.
I suspect that I am more than 10 pounds.
You are, unfortunately. I
can't fly.
You gotta cut them carbs, man. So, with that goblin's death, as far as you can tell, there are no longer any threats. What would you like to do?
Is Dib still alive?
Yeah, you walk out into the area. You see Dib still kind of cowering in the corner.
Yes.
Like he's grabbed some of the rags and pulled them back into himself to cover him a little bit.
Okay. I go about 15 feet away from Slav Squat and just stare at him.
Okay, so you just stare at him. Prudence, you open the chest. You find 24 gold pieces in a little pouch that looks like it's seen better days. You find 8 human skulls that have been picked clean. You find a rolled up scroll that's been bound with a strip of leather. And you find one. You recognize this as a potion of healing. Yes, a goblin pops out of the chest. No.
Eight skulls?
8 skulls.
I think he's taking 1 skull, but there are 8 skulls in there if you would like more. Yeah, you go ahead and unroll the scroll. It appears to be a very crude sketch diagram of the wagon you saw above, and up at the top, what languages do you read? This is not the appropriate music for this. I'm gonna move over to this one. Okay, you recognize the language as Goblin because they share a common root with Dwarven, but you can't read it. There's a couple of random writings here and there written in common, things like trap here, or not reinforce, but make better here, but more or less the majority of the text is not readable by you. Hoyd, as you sort of Slav squat in front of this guy, he shivers, not out of cold. It's definitely not cold down here. And the more you stare at him, he kind of stops shaking and puts lets the rags down from his grasp. He stands slowly up. Who are you? Before we get into this, does anybody else want to do anything while I'm going to be having a conversation? If you'd like to participate or do anything else.
If combat is over, I would like to talk to Prudence about the contents of that chest, about that scroll.
Okay, so you make your way over to Prudence. Loot every corpse you can. Alrighty.
And if circumstances make it reasonable, I might want to cast Comprehend Languages to read it.
Okay.
Though probably not right now.
So, Rurik and Shigun,
is
there anything you guys would like to be doing while this is going on?
I don't have anything in mind. I'll just join up with the rest. And
yeah.
I'm curious to hear what the goblin has to say, because
I'm gonna join.
He seems interesting.
I'll join the rest too.
Okay, so you're all sort of clustered in this room. Prudence, I'll just really quickly go over this. As you loot the corpses, each of the goblins has a scimitar, a rusted scimitar, and one dagger. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scimitars. Each of the bugbears had a morning star. And every goblin had a shield. You don't find any gold, you don't find any potions, and you don't find anything else of value. So Hoyd, as you're staring and as your companions sort of come up to sort of hover over your shoulder.
Can I wave Prudence off of looting quite yet? Retcon slightly?
Sure, yeah, we can hold that for frame of reference.
I don't think it would be pleasant to have somebody rummaging through your dead friends' bodies.
I figure I have the scroll now.
Yeah, Prudence handed you the scroll. So the small goblin stands. He's short, even by goblin standards. You can see his skin is mottled and kind of dark in places. And yeah, Prudence, you make your way over there. And he looks almost sickly. Like, he's very thin. You can see his joints are kind of swollen. He's clearly not been having a great time recently. And he stands to his feet. He looks a lot like Dobby, the house elf, actually. That's the image I have in my head. Wearing a sackcloth. And he's wearing some, very torn and hastily stitched together clothing. And he stands up and looks at Hoyt, who is now roughly eye level, squatting down. And he says, "Who are you?"
It could be a friend, as I flashily put my dagger away. Why are you here?
This Dib's fortress. Dib built this place.
Fortress, you say? Not a very big one.
Not big for big like you. We small. Dib very small.
Did it do so well for you, though?
He kind of looks around at all the bodies scattered. Dib did better before. Then tall ones come, make Dib work. Dib not want work. Dib just want catch people on road. Just take their gold, not hurt them unless they hurt me.
Ah, so a bandit.
Dib not bandit, Dib goblin. Prudence,
So-
make a perception check while we're an investigation check. Hoyt, go ahead.
So why would I care about a bandit?
Dib help you. Dib know where gold are. Dib know where lot gold is. Dib show you. Yes. You can see
Really?
he's kind of wringing his hands.
I'd like to roll an inside check on that one.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
It's 19.
If it would not be too much of an interruption, I would like to cast Comprehend Languages.
Sure. Yeah, you go ahead and pass comprehend languages. It was I'm sorry, Hoyt?
19.
19. From the way he looks and from the way that he's acting, it seems that he doesn't have much to gain from lying.
Okay, fair.
Goblins in their nature are somewhat sketchy, but you clearly have the upper hand, and there's nothing that it would be able to get out of you by deceiving you.
So you say you know some gold is around here. That could be fun.
Yes. Dib take much gold. Dib get much gold, and then big ones take gold away. But Dib know where gold is. Come. And what's up?
You keep saying big ones. Who are these big ones?
He points over to one of the dead bugbears.
Ah, them. I step on one of their heads.
They come. They hit Dib on head with nasty club. Dib not like that much.
Like this, and then I kick its head.
Yes. You see his eyes sort of light up at that. Come. And he like starts to limp his way over and leads you all back into the throne room.
I'm gonna read the map.
Okay. So you read the map. It more or less across the top, scrawled in comprehend languages, does not tell you what the language is. Across the top, it's scrawled. It says Dib's impregnable fortress. And and a lot of the writing around it is more or less supplies that need to be stolen or scavenged in order to build this, and circled in like very heavily with some kind of charcoal pen is the picture of what this wagon used to look like when it was upright, up on ground level, and then the X's over the wheels and a little arrow turning it over. And then there's a very rough map of the space around you, very quickly going around. Apart from all the traps you've already seen, and apart from the mold here, there's nothing else marked specifically on the map as a trap. Of note, the rocks falling from the ceiling is not on the map. I'll just put some rocks on the floor. So Dib.
Imagine that was something the tall ones added.
So Dib leads Hoyd back into what seems to be the throne room. And I'm just, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to assume you all sort of make your way back.
Yeah.
Prudence, at the bottom of this pit, with your dark vision, you can see fairly easily there's a number of small animals that have been thrown down and died. You see a set of... It looks like there used to be a lot of spikes at the bottom of the pit, but then there's like 2. So even if you fell, you probably wouldn't take the piercing damage anyway. But more or less, you don't see anything of value down there.
I'm gonna follow Hoyd into the throne room.
Okay. So as you guys all sort of cluster into the throne room, Dib actually climbs up onto the throne, his throne, and he settles into it. And you can see now that it is rough and crude in its construction, but it is built to fit him perfectly. And he settles into this seat, and there's a little divot in the seat where he always sits. And he just leans back and sighs for a second. Big ones take gold now. And he sort of slings himself over one of the arms and pushes the chair over, like not all the way over, just into the wall, and out from the bottom of the throne, hundreds of gold and copper and silver pieces spill out.
That's quite a haul you have.
Yes. Did very good at getting gold.
But tell me, How many people did you kill for this loot?
Dib not kill anyone. Dib
Are you sure?
may be stabby little, but Dib not kill. Dib not want kill. If Dib
I'll
kill...
insight check this.
Okay, go ahead and roll insight. If Dib kill, then the big ones come after Dib, and then Dib not live anymore. Dib like live.
I got a 15 on that.
Okay. That's a 7. Zook. More or less, like, given your familiarity with goblins in general, they tend to be kind of slippery bastards. But from one thief to another, he is telling you as much as he knows. You can tell just by the way he holds himself, and the fact that he's not holding a weapon, and the fact that he very clearly doesn't know how to use a weapon. Dib is not going to be able to threaten anyone. Hoyd, what you gather on top of that is he seems desperate. He seems desperate to try and get out of this with his life, and he doesn't want to provoke you any further.
In a way, I respect him. Though I don't say as much.
Okay.
So, that is definitely quite a haul, and we'd be very interested in taking that off your hands.
Yes! You take! And he starts, he with one hand, he's sort of propping the throne up, and with the other, he just starts scrabbling gold out from under, kind of spreading it out around the floor.
Alright, I pick up a piece of gold, flip it in the air, and motion to the group. What say you? Does he live?
Yes.
So that's 1 for yes.
And as you guys are making this vote, he kind of stiffens and like stops moving for a second, just sort of holding his breath.
Sorry about the mess.
That's 2 for yes. Shigun, Rurik?
I'm concerned about potential involvement he might do in the future, but I hesitate to completely strike down someone who has surrendered.
Do we take his hand?
I would like to approach Gib, and well, assuming he's like much shorter than me being a goblin, I guess. I would sort of kneel in front of him.
Yeah, he's short even for a goblin, so yes.
Okay, I thought as much. Were these your friends?
Zook, you were about to say something?
Rurik, do traveling merchants have insurance? I recall that he's a guild member and might know such a thing.
Rurik, you would know, generally speaking, if anyone's carrying any substantial amount of money or goods. If they're guild related, then they'll have some kind of insurance or, some way of retaining their money if they retain their lives.
Yes, as far as I'm aware. Why do you ask?
Well, in that case, then I don't think that there's any notable harm caused in leaving this one alive.
That's fair.
He kind of brightens up at all
I
of you.
lean down and address Gib and ask him solemnly, were these fellow goblins or friends? Or more so acquaintances?
Friends? Pfft, Dib have no friend. What friends? He kind of points at the other 3 goblins that are, dead on the floor. Dib thought we're friend, but they hit me with big ones too. Dib not have any friends. Dib not have friends no more.
Well then.
He kind of looks up at
you mentioned the I'm sorry, what?
He just kind of looks up at a throne, and it's hard to read expression on a goblin's face, but he almost looks wistful, looking up at the throne that he's tipped over.
But you mentioned that one of the big ones had bashed you with his club. Are you hurt? Or...
Dib shakes his head. Dib not hurt. Dib hurt then, but Dib get better. Dib bandage own wounds, and he raises one of his arms, and you can see a bandage dangling from it, like a rough piece of cloth, more or less.
Well,
That reminds me, what's with the skulls?
It's a very good question, Dib.
Skulls, big ones bring skulls with. Dib not like skulls. Skulls make Dib sick.
It would do that, wouldn't they?
why were they in the chest then? Or were you just trying to...
Dib not know how big ones think. Big ones come
And
in.
what's with the...
Big ones ruin Dib's hideout. Dib had
So
They
forks.
are
skull-
brutes, aren't they?
upturned wagon? There's more to a story here.
Let me see. Make a persuasion check.
Before I do that, I'm gonna rub a little bit of mascara on my cheek.
Oh, eat a dick. Sorry. Go ahead. I know what he's doing.
That
So you roll with advantage.
I'm amused but slightly confused.
that is a 21.
Yep, okay. Here's the checks. Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, so as you sort of smear this makeup across one of your cheeks, Dib's eyes blink for a second. Dib part of big clan. Dib's clan go out. Dib clan strong. But Dib finds forest. Dib like forest. Dib stay. Other clan kick Dib out. Have to go. Have to find big person and take big person stuff. Dib not want take big person stuff. Dib want have his stuff. And he kind of glances around the room at all like the shit that he's accumulated. Some was big people stuff, but it's Dib stuff now.
So I'll ask you again, did you harm any of these people?
He looks
Or merely steal them?
so he looks very keenly at you with a spark of intelligence behind that you have never seen in or heard of in a goblin. Dib not hurt. Dib maybe pointy and prick, but never Dib kill. Dib not want kill. Blood make Dib sick. Skulls make Dib sick. Bone make Dib sick. Dib not like make self sick.
Okay, I kneel down and put my hand on Dib's shoulder.
I will
I'm
note
inclined to
that
believe
we are
you.
in a room with 3 dead goblins.
Yeah, he's not doing great.
So I go to comfort. I'm inclined to believe you. Where is this forest you were talking about?
He points up. Of note, where the fortress had been was like the opening into a large forest.
Okay.
And then between the road were some like rocks and stuff. It wasn't hard to see from the road, but it was like at the edge of what became a forest behind it.
I think I'm satisfied. Dib, you did well.
You see a small smile quirk on his face, but otherwise he doesn't move.
This seems below my concern.
No.
But I will not interfere.
I
Anyone else
apologize.
have anything?
I'm sorry we came in and trashed your place, but at least we got rid of the big ones for you.
Oh, don't be
I did
sorry
that.
about
That
that.
was me.
Big ones get rid of other big ones. Dib like big ones. Dib like, he points at the four of you, and I assume, has Prudence come back in the room as well, or are you still at the hole? The hole.
And now it's in the hole.
Okay, so you've left.
I would-
I don't
Okay.
think I'm big, but I dress big.
Okay,
I would
so
like
yeah,
to-
you've climbed up and you're kind of just like hanging out above ground by the wagon, just sort of resting.
Mm.
So he points to the other four in the room. Dib like you big ones. Dib not like, and he points down the hallway. Them big ones.
So, Dib, what are you going to do now?
And kind of looks up at the throne and then looks back to you. And he shrugs. Dib find a new fortress. Dib build new fortress. Dib finds other friends. Friends that won't hit Dib with club.
Does that seem fair to the rest of you?
I have no concerns with this.
I have no objections. Either.
And actually, gotta roll to make sure he remembers this. Yeah. And at this, Dib suddenly brightens, and he lets go of the chair, and it falls down, obscuring some of the gold. Oh, Dib have something! And he, goes around to the back of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Round to the back of the throne, and he tears off just a piece of wood, just rips it right off, and you hear, something like wood shifting around, and he pulls out a small gold ring. It's adorned with a red ruby encrusted over the top, and he hands it out to Hoyd.
Why, thank you, sir. Little sir.
Dib use ring to move cart, but maybe Dib find big friends to move cart for Dib.
How did you use that to move the cart?
When Dib put ring on, Dib gets strong.
Really?
Oh.
That would be quite a tool to have, wouldn't it?
It is not a Tearstone ring, but that was on the list. Unfortunately, that was not the one I rolled for you. Sorry.
Yeah, it confused me a little bit reading that. Like, oh, that's not what I assumed.
Yeah. It was one of three. It was. Yeah. I'll
This
talk
is-
later.
This is weird playing this with people who obviously know this encounter and know what comes from it.
Well, I don't
Because I have no clue.
think anybody knows.
What encounter?
I hope nobody knows this encounter.
Nope. Sounds like you're pulling information from something.
I mean,
My
I'm pulling
ass.
information
That's
from
how you
something.
RP.
Fair.
Does anybody want to do anything else while you're here?
I would like to redress Dibs. Sorry.
Dib?
Redress Dibs' wounds with like fresh bandages and
Okay.
make sure he's all right.
Make a persuasion check to convince him to get close enough to touch him. Okay, so while this is going on, Prudence, you're short resting up at the top there.
If he
Was that
botches it, I'm gonna re-roll it.
What was that? A persuasion?
Correct. Okay, roll a medicine check.
Oh, you crushed it. Awesome.
Okay, simple enough. It takes a little bit of doing, but you're a very persuasive individual as a small one, similar to him, not a big one like the rest. He did see Zook, so he does
That's
know
small,
that there are
big one.
other small ones with you. But you do manage to let him rebind the dressing. It wasn't in terrible shape, but it was very clearly not doing great. So you rebind the dressing. He seems to be more bruised and bleeding than anything else. So, more or less, from what you can gather of a quick once over, he'll probably be fine. But he'll be doing better now with that bandage redone.
Excellent. I hope you heal well.
Dib hope so too.
If we're all done here, I have a final parting gift for him.
Okay.
I'm going to strongly suggest
Oh, you son of a bitch.
that you move away from this forest. Do no harm until you can find someplace safer.
Okay. You're just telling him
And
that,
yes.
or are you actually casting suggestion?
I have a second level spell slot.
Do you? Because I think
Do.
you have 2 second level spell slots? Because you used suggestion
I do.
in the original. Jesus. Bards, man.
I did.
Um,
Two second level. I only used one. I
Prudence,
had the other one saved for something.
Multi-class into monk and you'll be a Jedi.
Prudence, you have 9 crossbow bolts. You found 10, and you used 1 without retrieving it. So you cast suggestion on him, which is a
Lasts for 8 hours.
wisdom saving throw. What's your DC? 13, I think.
13. Yep.
13. As you, ow, sorry. As you mutter and you're not really hiding it. You are sort of moving your hands around. You take out the material components and such. He just kind of looks at you funny. And as soon as you suggest, blah blah blah. Okay. So as soon as you suggest that he move away, not hurt anyone. What was the rest of the suggestion? I'm sorry.
So move away from here. Don't harm anyone until you can find a safer place to live.
Okay. So Dib's eyes kind of glaze
At which
over.
point, then he's allowed to harm anyone.
At that point, it's 8 hours away, and I don't care.
Yeah. Dib's eyes kind of glazed over for a second, and he blinks and shakes his head. Dib, go away. Dib, find somewhere safe. And you can
Good.
tell that the spell has taken effect.
All right, I think we're done here.
So as you guys start moving the way out, Dib actually goes out in front of you, climbs up. Prudence, you see Dib make his way out, look around. At this time of day, there's really not a lot of foot traffic. You see Dib move away from the road and go into the forest. And unless you go after him, you see him leave, and he moves out of your sight.
Okay, how much loot was in that gold? How much gold was in that loot? Worth.
There were 354 gold pieces in various denominations. Additionally, inside there, could I have whoever would like to pick through the pile of gold make an investigation check, please?
Sure.
I think it's time
17.
for maybe a long rest. What time of day is it?
It's getting
Oh,
mid to
yeah,
late
planned.
afternoon. Mid to late afternoon or so.
Was that investigation you said?
Correct. If you would like to help pick through the pile of gold.
My daughter is waking up, maybe.
Oh no.
Session is in,
I'm already there, so I'll
7
go
minutes.
ahead.
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I can probably drag it out.
There's gold.
There's a lot of gold.
There is a gold.
Hoyd. Did Hoyd have to step away?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. In the pile of gold, you found a couple other things. First you find one, then you find the other, a pair of 2 loaded 6-sided dice.
Nice.
When you roll them, they alternately come up 6 and 1. There doesn't seem to be a pattern, but maybe take a peek at it later. You also find at first you think it's a scrap of silk almost, but you pull it in a little closer. It appears to be a bow tie of some kind that is remarkably clean given the environment.
Ooh.
you also find one vial that has been crushed and its contents spill out onto the floor, but tipping over the throne a little bit more, you find another whole potion of healing, and you also find 2 scrolls that have been more or less stuffed into the throne as almost like supporting elements.
Prudence, I think you might want these.
Prudence is upstairs.
You find scrolls?
But
Alright, well, hold them on. Zook, can you bring us to Prudence?
What am I bringing to Prudence?
there are 2
Scrolls. I'll be 1 second.
scrolls.
2 scrolls, okay.
Uh,
I will then take the scrolls and then go up the ladder and give those 2 scrolls
okay.
and the map to Prudence, and I'll additionally explain what the map is.
Okay. So you're having this
Like what it says, it just...
because you can read it and he can't.
It's just like a
Alright, I'm back.
list of materials and some schematics.
Okay.
So I missed anything after the scrolls?
So I'll give the 3 scrolls total to Prudence.
You did not. So Prudence, takes the 2 scrolls and kind of motions. He takes the plans, the map, and just kind of tosses it to the side. So, what would you guys like to do? Would you like to leave and rest, or you want to rest in here? It's getting like mid to late afternoon. The sun's getting close to the horizon.
We could rest in here pretty easily, if you don't mind the smell. We can guard the top.
It would definitely provide cover from any sort of trouble out in the forest.
Okay. Prudence, if you wouldn't mind making an Arcana check for me.
I'm not confident this place is fit for rest.
Yeah.
I would prefer to rest above ground.
Prudence,
We could do that too.
you identify one of the spells as a Scroll of Zephyr Strike. It's a 1st level transmutation spell, concentration up to a minute. Until the spell ends, your movement does not promote attack of opportunities. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on 1 weapon attack roll on your turn. That attack deals an extra 1d8 force damage on a hit. Whether you hit or miss, your walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn.
That's neat.
The other scroll, unfortunately, you are not able to identify using your knowledge of the arcane. You can make a religion check if you would like to try and identify it. Okay.
I could always take a look.
Let me double check something. So, you recognize the scroll. You recognize the spell, actually. You've seen Rurik use it before. It is a scroll of a Shield of Faith. Which you would not necessarily be able to use, but Rurik, if you look at it, you know exactly what it is. You don't need to bother identifying it because you recognize the spell.
Since I already know the spell, how would I... What benefit would a scroll be again?
Saves you
I
a
think
spell
you'd
slot.
Right.
Saves a spell slot, okay.
You'd be able to cast it without expending a spell slot, which is pretty useful for...
And it would retain its utility as a bonus action and such?
Everything, yeah, everything else is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it still costs you an action or a bonus action, whatever it is.
I think.
Actually, does a scroll do... Scroll takes a full action, right?
Let me double check. There's so many.
Not that it matters right now.
So many rules, but yeah, I'll look at that. I don't believe so. I think it's whatever it takes, but I'll look at that later. Okay, so what's the plan? We're running up at the end of our time. So what would you guys like to do? Do you want to end this on a rest, or do you want to go move somewhere else?
I think we should do this in a rest and probably do it topside.
Yep.
Seems good to me.
Rest above ground.
I'm up for a long rest.
I'm fine with that too.
Long rest sounds good.
Okay, so Prudence mentions the scroll. You do know, Prudence, that Zephyr Strike is not a spell that is normally cast by anyone in your group. Well, normally I'd have you roll for that, but yes, it is on the ranger spell list. All right, so you folks are all resting topside.
Yep.
Okay.
Can the bard use that scroll? Besides do everything.
Well, so more or less, rules is written. You're not supposed to be able to use a spell that's outside your spell list. There's a variant rule that allows you to try with a successful Arcana check or religion, depending on what type of spell it is. So,
Okay.
I'll have to discuss this further just to make sure you guys know what the deal is. with
No,
that.
it's fine. I have no intention of trying right now. I'm just curious.
Okay, so you
Wait a
guys,
minute.
are you
Let me
guys
check
sleeping?
this.
Are you guys sleeping in the wagon, or you're bedding down outside the wagon?
Does
I have
Arcane
10.
Trickster get anything special for this kind of thing?
Say again.
I feel like as an Arcane Trickster, I might be able to try and learn it.
Possibly, but we'll take a look at that
Yeah.
out of session.
So
I
now
think
we're
trying
doing a
to
long
wrap
rest.
up.
So you guys go
Yes,
above
we do.
ground. You find a nice spot behind the wagon that's sort of more or less shielded from the road, not necessarily hidden, but shielded from the road. You put up your tents, because there's a whole bunch. I think most of you have tents, and the tents can fit more than one person. So if you're willing to,
I think I got 2 tents with the intention of each one fitting 2 people.
there you go. There's one odd man out.
And I will sit outside.
Are you sure?
Positive.
We got
Suit yourself.
like we got space.
So
I'm
All
fine.
set up.
you find your various sleeping arrangements. You decide you do what you would like to do, and you find yourself coming to sleep as the sun is beginning to set. So we will pick up there next session.
Okay, this is a long rest.
This is
It's
going
a
to be a
long
long rest, and we'll finish the rest of this off session. So, great session, everybody. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for playing. Someone was about to say something before I go?
No?
Does a
Wait,
long rest?
Never mind. I was thinking
recover
about doing a
spent
thing.
spell
I was like,
slots?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So
We should play again in 2 weeks.
I gotta go back to YouTube and manage the stream because it's complicated. So our next session is going to be on the 23rd, January 23rd, which I believe I'll be around for. I also have the Monday session coming up on the 13th, just this upcoming Monday. So yeah, we're playing 2 different sessions every other week. So yeah. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you guys for coming and playing. Have a good night.
Thanks again for
Had a
joining.
lot of fun. Thanks.
You're a lot of fun to play with.
I do what
Thank
I
you.
can.
Yeah. Same to you.